time. Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier. Waste my time. Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier. Waste my time. Don't say I never told you. Go, get out of my mind. I refuse to be a soldier.
going to come out on top. Wow, what a save. Oh, he's another one! Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another round of Kyalami as the OOR drone has taken control and is just doing its own thing. I'm not actually sure what's going on with this drone, but it's got a mind of its own. This is Kyalami from a drunk drone. It is another night of racing. We're at Kyalami. If you watched last night, this is going to be awesome. It had a bit of everything, including a car park and some enraged commentating by yours truly. Tonight, let's introduce our commentators that are joining me in the box tonight. We've got Braden Ross and Patrick Oliver. How are we, Braden?
I'm good, Neil. How are you, mate?
Oh, I am fantastic. It's been a while since I've heard your beautiful voice, and pants are off.
Well, you've got to take your pants off to fit the weapon. When you're around me.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good stream. Thanks for joining.
That's as risky as I'll get. That's the end of me this season.
That's fair. And also welcoming to the booth, Patrick, who last night cracked his first OOR win. Well done, mate.
Hey, Mal. Hey, chat. Thank you very much. It was a very intense night. Oh, as we see an accident in the background. Yeah, it was a very fun, stressful night, that's for sure.
Yeah, big congrats to you, I reckon. That was big plays last night, and you would have been sweating a lot in those last few laps because you had some strong drivers behind you, but you kept them behind.
Yeah, I was thankful I could just get in front kind of early after the safety car restart and get a bit of a gap. Don't think I would have been able to hold it on for too much longer, but you know, that happens. That's racing. It was good fun, and I'm excited for the season. Hopefully I can keep putting in that amount of practice for the rest of the season.
Oh, after the stream ended last night, I checked out your stream and I wanted to see your reaction across the line, and it was perfect. Exactly what I was hoping to see, and that's exactly how I would have reacted as well. It was more relief instantly, and then it was the realization that you got the win.
When I got out of that last corner, and I was like, okay, I've got it, and then I just lost it. Sorry for my neighbours and partner, but you know, it is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is. You got to celebrate like that. I remember when I got the W, I was screaming. It's a good feeling. There's some great racing all around last night. A couple of incidents, but this Kyalami, I reckon we're going to see the same again tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely saw some strong drivers getting involved in incidents too, and just some of the top drivers also making little mistakes. Tell you what, that sausage, it's the death of a lot of people.
I think Sector 1 just kind of like produces that kind of like unfortunate situations, especially how much it kind of funnels everyone in, and then everyone's also trying to get the best run onto the little straight before sunset. I think it just breeds like difficult situations in those first couple of laps.
Yeah, just those 3 turns leading to barbecue, it's just very tight, very left, right, and it's just hard to find your real estate on track.
Yeah,
so it's very likely to see incidents.
Baldwin got unfortunately caught up there in the second race of Split Green last night, and you saw how many cars just ended up in an IGA car park before their race had even started. So
I have an IGA down the road, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's like a super IGA. It's like on a massive hill. None of the spots are the same size.
Just a bloody disaster.
Yep.
But this should be, for me, I think Green was just easing our way into what will be a very hectic night of racing. There's a sneaky chance that we might get a completely full split in split red, which means one thing, and we have to wait and see on Twitch later. But tonight, this split, 44 drivers out there, and the return of some familiar faces. We could see Lachlan Henderson's made his return. He's currently P1 in the standings and the timings. Simon Scanlon, Spidey makes his return. Dylan Tyquin makes his return. Who else can I quickly say off the top of my head?
We've got Kitching as well, making a return. One of the really strong drivers from last season. Had a few sad moments as he just puts himself into P2, mind you, just under a 10th behind Henderson.
Flying along.
How do you say that guy's name? Scott Blyer.
Blyer,
that's right.
Blyer, yeah.
I see you've been reading the pronunciation sheet.
I have. I read the spreadsheets.
That'll look better next week when I finish it off. We've got a lot of debutants tonight as well. I know there's a few Daniel O'Donnell fans out there. Now, Daniel, if you watch this back, I'm hoping you have a great race, or great races, and you can control yourself on your broadcast. I know you're a passionate man. I know you're a vocal man, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yes, I hope you enjoy the Sprint Series, mate. And I've seen some of your practice times, and they're very competitive.
Another debutant we've got... sorry, Pat, go ahead.
I was going to say it'll be interesting to see how he goes with all his racecraft, because he can put some good laps together. Just be able to see how he runs with the big dogs.
With the big dogs. Speaking of big dogs, Ben McConnell making his return to the Asia Pacific ranks. He's a caster in Europe, and that's a very bright livery. Don't mind it. So he's currently sitting 18th on the standings.
My first track down pit lane last night, I was having a look at everyone's liveries, and it was just a lot of gross. There was one Ferrari. I think it's Kefford. It's the pink and purple and white Ferrari. That looks pretty nice.
We called out a couple of drivers that pretty vocally last night for their liveries, and didn't we hear about it on Discord later? But I want to say that if you go out there with the pink, yellow and bright green livery, you're not there to hide behind the fences and just ease your way in. You're there for attention, and guess what? You got it. And there's a couple of liveries I've seen tonight which are going to cop the same from me, so enjoy that.
Just touching back on the debutants, another one of the debutants tonight, fresh out of the rookie series, Nick Miller is one of the guys to watch, sitting in class at the moment.
Sitting in the pits at the moment.
He's a very polite man. I've known Nick Miller for quite a number of years now, and he's very fresh to sim racing. I've helped him a little bit. There's only so much I can help because I'm not very good myself, but he's getting up to speed very quickly. So throughout the season, keep eyes peeled on him.
Yeah, it's great to see. Also, on top of that, we've got a few drivers that have moved up in class. Regan Herbert is one of those. Was unsure why he moved up. Currently 5th in a very hectic split, so that just sorted that out pretty quickly.
And I think that is also Connor Kingston actually skipped Pro-Am between last season and this
Deleted
season,
it.
so
Didn't even need it.
It's good to see.
The Pro-Am finals as a wildcard entry was enough to stamp his make up to Pro, but the classification times also rubber stamped that as well. He was fantastic. The Kovacs racing team, they've got a lot of liveries that are very similar, and a lot of cars on the Thursday night splits. I think we're going to see a lot of white cars in split red as JP goes P10, 3.38 tenths behind P1. That is, look how close these times are. 1 second.
A second.
McConnell's just gone out there and done a 41.2, and he's 19th. Wow.
Well, hopefully that is a sign of things to come.
In saying that, Braden, I believe you have some time off.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of time off.
You're welcome to join us tonight. Well, oops, you're welcome to join us all night tonight. They can't see what's going on. They don't know what we're laughing at.
Yeah, Melbourne obviously had construction shut down for a couple of weeks because there was a couple of not great people that went and protested in the city.
Yes.
I don't want to get a little more brutal than that because there's probably people that are viewing that are among that crowd. And I don't want to ruffle any feathers. But
no, that's my job. Let's ruffle some feathers. Sorry.
Yeah, 2 weeks off. It's been hard to find things to do, but I've been doing a little bit of content creating for the Odyssey crew. And just Playing a lot of video games, doing a bit of sim racing.
That's fair, that's fair. Well, welcome to hang around tonight if you've got nothing else on.
Yeah, beautiful. Might just do that.
Sounds like a plan.
Raggy was shooting for the top 10, says Moritz. Well, you can't be too upset with the 41-2 and 19th, so... And also, he was also chatting to Spidey about some close racing, and those guys are in a couple of spots separated, so here we go.
There was a
think
little
there's
bit of that
something
in
that-
split yellow last night too. I was I think I qualified like 23rd or something, and I'm like, that's not great. And then I looked at how far off I was from like P10, and it was only like 3 or 4 tenths. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad.
No, exactly, mate. It's fantastic.
I think something
loving that
that's
livery.
been forgotten around here is that like it's a pretty short lap, and 40 odd cars. You want to make sure that you get a good banker on the board, or you're not going to be able to come back in or find a better spot. I think because last night I only got one valid lap in, and thankfully it was my first one. But
I binned it on my first out lap. Trying to warm up the tyres and just overcooked it a little bit and found the wall.
You'll definitely see the team name in a second, Pyro. You get a little bit of a shout out from Lachlan Henderson, who put it on pole in his return. Quite a lot of Porsches up the front end here, as we were expecting. And a safety car for Asia Pacific in all its glory. The Jag.
That's a beautiful livery, isn't it?
It is.
Any pineapples on that?
There's a couple.
is the word safety spelled correctly?
Yes, it is. That diffuser.
I don't know how many people saw that.
No, he's always good to spell check. Loud. Patizok Malik is just louder in comparison.
We want him to be the loudest. He does lead us.
I can't really boost Braden Ross's any more than I have.
Am I quiet?
Not for
Apparently
me.
so. You're really loud in my cans.
Same. It's good level.
Yeah, it's a great level.
Fuck 'em.
All right, so who's going to call the first race? I'm not doing the first one. We can't.
Oh,
we
saw
can't
what you
start
did
there.
last night.
I'll give it a crack.
All right,
Yeah,
done.
go.
Give it a
Debut. Let's see what you've got, mate.
Okay, so similar scenes to last night, with a couple of pro-ams being Salt Bayed in the middle of the top 10 of our Asia Pacific splits. Let's see where these drivers can end up, see how their racecraft is, and let's see if they can make a what's the word I'm looking for? A stamp in Mullick's book about possible promotions for the rest of the season. But we have Henderson and Kitching on the front row here, followed by Gallo and Britt, Herbert and Taekwon for our top 6 here for Split Blue. Split Blue? Split Blue.
Correct.
And sun's out, guns out here in Kyalami, so that rain vote has absolutely been put in the bin. No wind watch either. The
No
100 is only blowing 2 kilometers, so you know. But the safety car pulls away as it comes through Cheetah, and they are going to lead us around for their first race of the season. Let's see how everyone is acquainted.
I'm ready to
Okay.
receive this.
How many wide, chat? What's the number?
It's 4 or
the
it's nothing.
It's got to be 4.
Porsche leads the Lamborghini as they come across the checkered, and I'm not sure if they've gone green yet, but they have. There they go, and they flare out. There's definitely there's probably 4 wide at the back there. I'm going to say it, but it's studded and I can't really see it all. As the Ferrari almost looks to make a move down the inside, just misses the rear panel of the Porsche. Everyone, there's a bit of bump and grind and straightens them up at the back there, but they all flare towards turn 4. I can't actually see it. But, that Ferrari lost out a little bit there as the Porsche of, that looks like O'Donnell trying to make a move around the outside, and they get it done. As they are still too wide. God, there's a lot of cars at the back there. But there's a yellow flag. I don't know what's happened. Maybe... No,
Got a little bit of an
all
incident
green.
towards the end there, just before barbecue. Looks like there's 2 or 3 cars involved.
But still play on as the Honda of Young, I think, is making move around the outside of Taekwon, coming up towards the S's for the first time. Still too wide. It's a very tricky part of the track to go too wide, especially because of what bad run you get up towards the hairpin. As you can see by the Bentley, who's had an absolute run. That is Sunokus. Is there only one of them in the split?
Yes.
Probably. Sure.
Brothers in red.
So they're going to go 2 wide down the back straight through Mineshaft. Who is going to be the big winner? I think it's going to be the Bentley if they can be respectful. And it looks like they get it done. I'm not sure if it's just... Oh, never mind. That's some sadness. Oh, they've both got a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. And there's a boop at the back. 2 wide up towards Cheetah. Crocodile.
Instant karma.
Sadness.
Yeah, there was Tyquin and Senekas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. What a tasty first lap.
Yeah, great work on that race start call, Pat. You're a natural.
I'm trying. My internet's a bit scuffed. Sometimes it stutters and I missed out a little bit. But I tried. It's great fun.
Well, I didn't even notice it in here, so well done. You can take all of them.
Oh, love.
You've always got to give Mullock one novelty reverse grid race call. What a disaster.
And in the dark too.
Well, Lachlan Henderson has made off like a stabbed rat. He's 1.8 seconds up the road already. Great to see Damon Wood. I don't recall seeing Damon race in our Sprint Series. I think it's a name we might call quite often now. He's P2.
Yeah, looking really strong. We've, Kitching has dropped off a few spots since the race start, so not the best of starts by him, but he's a very strong race driver, so I would definitely be keeping eyes on him. I think he'll find a couple of those positions back.
It's great to see Bruno Gallo, Split Blue winner last season. He's up in P3 and continuing some stellar form that he showed.
Yeah, back in the Ferrari as well, so there's going to be no surprises. I think we're going to see a really strong season by him. Same with Kitching, back in the Lambo, same as last season.
Michael Young, I'm trying in the Honda. I like that.
Where did he qualify? Has he had a really good start? I think so.
I think he was in top 10. McConnell though, woo! He's had a blistering start. He's up from 19th. He's got up 5. Decent ping there from where he is in the UK.
Hopefully he can hold up and he can see some decent racing.
What was the magnitude? In terms of the start lap 1, it was a low, probably 1.2 on the Richter scale last night. Split green reverse grid, probably about a 7.
Yeah, very high, very shaky.
He was like half the grid, wasn't it?
Yeah, from about P9 down, I think everyone just had a car boot swap meet.
They just wouldn't stop until there was an object stopping them.
Yeah,
Isn't that how you do that?
right,
They're called front and rear bumpers for a reason, aren't they? Is that how that works?
just in the background, Bentley a bit wide. I always say it, I love this circuit. Love racing here. Love watching here. As you can see, the Lexus has made its return this season. Malith is in Lexus gang. I think someone with the team name last night was Tyrannosaurus Lex. I enjoyed that.
That's genius.
What was your team name, Braden?
Boring.
Boring.
Odyssey Racing.
Ah.
Prior to that, it was Sprint Series Season 7 2.0, and then I realised that we could put team names in.
Yes, you definitely can. So far though, Blue spent a couple little niggles. You'd expect that in a big grid.
I'm just going to try and restart my Discord and I'll be back in a second.
No worries. So JP, after little ding, is up in 26th.
Ooh, and my man Nick Miller has gained 6 positions from the start as well.
Very bright yellow.
Oh, never mind. He's made a mistake and he's dropping down the field. Sorry, Nick. That's a curse.
Is it a curse if it's already happened?
Well,
Or
no
you
one
just-
saw that
or
it
you-
happened.
Or you're just an asshole?
Well, it's like if a tree falls in the woods but no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? It was kind of like that.
They're lost us.
Oh. Thank you very much for the donation there, Hamster. You're absolute legend. He says, spectacular racing, an amazing start to the season. Keep that up.
Oh, there's
Awesome
almost a Spinella. That is Lewis. God, some loose rear ends going around Sunset.
Yeah, Lewis is having a difficult time throughout Sector 1. The Mercedes of Siciliano has just taken the position through both of those McLarens.
That needs its own museum, and then that museum needs to be burnt to the ground.
That's revolt. Is that... It's fine to joke about one race, but they're like this for the whole season.
Are they though? I've got some admin commands I might use. Nah, they are. It's great. It's something to talk about, it's something to joke about, and something for me to just vomit over.
It's like a flashbang, isn't it, if you're driving behind that?
For sure. Those Bentley ribbons need to get in the bin, and that bin into a volcano, and that volcano didn't hit it with a nuke. Basically, bang on. Bentley stretching its legs here on the straight. The Porsche just cops it here. It's solid everywhere else, but you do get under pressure towards turn 2, and then it gets the move done. Just shows you the size difference in those cars. And that is Taekwon right behind. So Taekwon was spun by Senegas, and then Senegas got a little tap on the way through from someone else and spun.
Green's got to be a bit careful when that car behind runs out of room there, but they look like they're still racing. It's going to be interesting to see how these Porsches stack up against each other.
Look at that. Green, Taekwon, Spenceley, Honda, all the Porsches in a row. Super cute. It's very fitting that Ryan Green in the green car.
Looks like Sibris is starting to
sorry.
give Miyaki a bit of a...
2 seconds, Braden. Car 42 has picked up a 10-second penalty for jump starts. That would be this man. So I reckon there might be more than one. That's generally what happens. Just going through the field. The top a few drivers, they're all out of 1 second as there's a car pulled over on the side of the road. Brendan Votelaire, Mr. Minion, he's broken down.
Is that an engine shut off?
Needs I think it needs RACT, roadside assistance.
That may be a some kind of software problem, because you wouldn't sit stationary for that long if it was just a shut off.
You'd be able to use, you wouldn't, yeah, I'm with you. Oh, as we've seen another car go into the pits already, so.
Kyalami things with the rear contact. Slight touch, out his round, and it's a
scary sight.
Mini car park.
I think the thing there is that like all of your practice has been full throttle as soon as you come through that first left-hander. So
Yeah.
I think unless you've had practice races and super cautious, then I think that just that stuff will happen more than likely.
Yeah, you've got to have a few sets of eyes to successfully get through a race start. You've got to have eyes right in front of you. You've got to have eyes all the way ahead. You just got to be monitoring every situation, know where to place the car, know whether there's going to be yellows, if you need to put the brakes on. There's a lot of things you've got to process all at once. That's why race starts are so stressful and commonly turn out pretty bad for some people.
These guys at the front though. So Regan's 2.5 seconds back. And there's a nice little battle. A couple of battles here. Honda
I love
pushing.
that team name. Michael Young, I'm trying.
Honda's looking quite impressive so far at Kyalami.
Yeah, it's so strong in Sector 1 and the end of Sector 3. I found anyway. Being able to keep up on the straight is super helpful, and then being able to get as close as you can out of the exit of Sunset usually leads up to the ability to put in pretty consistent, strong laps.
So who got the win race 1 and split green last night?
Um,
Can't think.
I do.
So Bakita got P1 in race 1. And I think Hooley got P1 in race 2.
I'm sure someone in chat will have the answer.
Probably the race winner and go, why did you forget about me? Because, sorry. Because things. I have seen a significant less amount of cheater deaths this round so far compared to when we first raced here. And it was a very common theme. Good old practice. Trying to remember, my mind is gone. Duong, Ryan Duong, that is great. Andrew Hara, as you can see, who's in chat, who's in this split, whose power has been off. He's cranked out. Oh, what's going on here? There's
The
two.
phone of Lamb running very wide.
No.
Is it a missed brake marker?
One
Young.
Maybe
together with Young.
possibly clipping of the curb as well, which can really unsettle the McLaren there.
Trying to find that back. I think Young might have gone deep. He looked like he was going to try and redress, but Lamb couldn't get back on track. Now he's under pressure from Mr. Scott Blair, who's right behind, I think, or has he got through? No, he's got through. And he's in the Lamborghini this year, which looks funny. But he's going to try another car. Doesn't suit him?
He did good cartwheels in it, so I think it suits him.
Yeah, they were impressive cartwheels too.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, head to the Octane Twitter and have a look at the clip that was posted the other day.
And we cut
It's
to
just
it?
fantastic.
Or is it a bad time?
Just going to watch this replay quickly. So, yep, nothing happened between the drivers we were discussing. But it's just a funny coincidence. So, this is Michael. Just lost the rears. Nice drift. 10 out of 10
That's
side points.
sick.
And Lamb's gone deep. All by himself. So they both kept out of the wall. But just lost a couple of positions for Lamb. And Michael Young's one of the hearts of many. Did an amazing drift.
Yeah, I was looking at that Delta and wondering what happened to Young because they were on each other, Young and Britt, and yeah, now Young's obviously dropped off a number of seconds. 1.8 the gap now is an update. It's 1.7.
Very impressive. Another one that's impressed a lot recently, Marcus Van Vliet, 12th at the moment, in one of the Porsches. McConnell's now up to 13th, a second back. So one more position for Benny McConnell, and he'll be starting for P1 for race 2. 15 minutes to get it done. Lots can go wrong ahead, so big chance.
Yeah,
Raggy.
but lots can go wrong with him as well.
Yeah.
You never know.
Oh, you're trying to curse him?
No, I wouldn't want to curse him. The only Brit I want to curse is Oliver Shoesmith.
He curses himself sometimes, old Ollie.
He does. He loves the old turn 1 incident.
Well, it's a good looking battle up here. Looks like O'Donnell's right on the back of Kitching and has Scott Blair chasing the heck out of them. So it'll be interesting to see what the second half of this first race can bring.
So Daniel O'Donnell last season was in the rookies, moving up to sprints. A very animated character. Love him.
Passionate.
So passionate.
Colourful.
Colourful is another great word, much like these rims.
He's a good bloke sometimes.
So if you want to check him out, A Better Bloke on Twitch. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
I think so. Should see if he's breathing.
He's chasing down Kitching. So you can see a lot of Lamborghinis. This is one of the Lamborghini's stronger tracks in our calendar and the overall track listing on ACC. So they're trying to make the most of it. We've got Britt, Reynolds, Kitching, Blair all in the top 10. It's going to look a very Lamborghini front of rows for race 2. And O'Donnell's all over the back of Kitching. Try and find... Kitching qualified second, am I right?
Yeah, you're right. I was just going to comment on that. He's had a shocker of a race so far, dropping all the way down to P8.
All the way.
He's plummeted all the way 6 positions or 7 positions.
Well, Gallo's fallen all the way from P3 all the way down to P3 by the looks of it.
I think there might have been a unfortunate mishappening at the first couple of laps there, but seems to have settled in to P8. Maybe thinking about the reverse grid. Who knows?
Found out what happened to Kitching. Could have been a lot worse. He's going to have a bit of damage on the front. But that's where he's wow!
Goodness gracious me.
That's where he's plummeted. 6%.
Made a diamond. That is a huge pucker moment. Oh,
Land right on the rear. That's Donald.
this is O'Donnell.
Yep. Just not much you can do against the Lamborghini's straight line speed.
Maybe a bit of hip and shoulder.
Yeah, there was millimeters in that.
Rubbin's racing. And just ahead. Oh, hang on, that might have been a replay. I'm watching them up the screen. Yeah, don't worry about me. I see a significant lack of Lexuses up the front. Do you reckon we have 26 people regret picking the car? Because I hope so, because it was an absolute pain in the ass to get in here.
I think we'll have to wait and see for a couple of rounds.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Especially the older circuits in the game. It's going to be a lot more
Like
competitive. Like Zolder.
That's quite good,
That's
yeah.
exactly why Zolder's on the calendar.
Yeah.
Just for the Lexus.
Lexus is the new Jag. We saw a fair few drivers that were in the Jag last season start to drop off like flies. And the ones that stayed were super strong in it. People like Nichols. Lucky Nichols was super strong in that Jag last season.
Ooh. Someone's in the fence. It's not too far back. But yeah, comparing the Lexus and the Jag as competitive beasts, it's not really much of a comparison. Jaguar was just not great.
Alton is unfortunately, Linton, one of the newest tracks in the game, so a bit of a swing and a miss. But I was going to ask, have we seen our favourite livery yet? What is our favourite livery that we've seen? That's
Safety car.
probably
Why is that Bentley pulled over? And why is there a green flag?
We saw Monza. Flags.
good to go.
I watched that clip earlier today and I laughed for a good 5
Oh, it's
minutes.
Regan. You know what I reckon
Oh,
it
no.
is? Fuel.
Technical.
I reckon it's fuel.
Yeah, that's quality fuel, isn't it?
You reckon 20 minutes
Yep.
is enough quali fuel
Yep.
for an 8-minute quali?
So that's pretty what he took.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the Lexus is way quicker than what the Jag was, and it still is. But we'll wait and see. If anything, you could it's just ear porn listening to the Lexus in car.
We've just seen car 3 pick up a 15-second time penalty for a collision on lap 6. Using car 3, they must be buried in the pack. There's another car pulled over.
No, he's lap down. He's just getting out of the way to the S's. So that means Raggy's moved up to P12. He's on the front row of the grid for race 2 because Regan Herbert was in that top 10. FN chat.
Raggy's got some driver of the day material here in this race.
Still 10 minutes to go. You know,
You know what? I think Philip has made a good point. Maybe Regan didn't check next round, and the change of announced that this race is 30 minutes, not 20 like it was last year season.
but still then, he only made it to the line.
Yeah, he could have still underfueled
Yeah.
or realised he's going to run out anyway, so he just like, oh, I've got to put that in the bin.
Bugger it. Put it on
Or you could be right. It could be tech issues. Thanks for the membership there, Mr. Wagner. Up
I
the
don't know if
front.
anyone
Look at the
noticed
front.
the livery last night. I think, is it their last name Tamaki?
Yes.
Tamaki? I like that one. It looked like a Benetton livery on the McLaren.
It did look nice. There's quite a lot of good lookers out there, livery-wise.
And liveries. Oh.
We do worry about you sometimes, Mullock. Only sometimes.
Got to worry about ourselves the rest of the time, you know?
That's very true. And I think you should all worry about yourselves a little bit more. Especially turn 1s. Or in this case, turn 2.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely turn 2.
No kink shaming here.
959 called out number. I think so, maybe an incident. Thank you very much, Dan Murphy, with an emoji we can't discuss in OOR.
Pepe is like a 2D Pepe.
So 8 minutes to go. Excuse me. At the moment, we've got McConnell and Van Vliet on the front row for the reverse grid. Connor Kingston 4/10ths back, and a big chance to potentially sneak into that top 12 as 257's picked up a 10-second penalty. Is the Lexus uncompetitive in today's version? At some of the tracks, yes. There's a couple of other tracks that it's pretty good at. Mainly the older ones, like we mentioned before, Zolder. But we don't have a lot of data in probably the last 3 or 4 seasons because we haven't used it due to the livery issue. So we'll wait and see how it really does sit.
But I think at the end of the day also it's like, it's to do with the driver.
Of course.
Like the BOP is like kind of helpful at the end of the day, but you still got to be able to drive it, so.
Exactly.
With the Ferrari here, I'm not sure if the Ferrari is the greatest car here. And
Wide.
Bruno Gallo, P3.
Exactly right. Well, the McLaren's not great here. It's one of its lower tracks, and last night we've got a win. So if the right person's in the right car at the right time, you'll get the W. And O'Donnell is going to start on the second row for race 2. The way he's driving at the moment, fantastic debut race. Stuck behind 2 Lamborghinis who are pushing extremely hard. They might come together. He got 2 wins last night. There we go. It's exactly right. Bakita and Houlihan. Ron Juon was in the Ferrari, was he?
Yep.
Well, it's pretty likely that a McLaren's going to get a win in this yellow when there's 15 of them.
Is there only 15? I thought there was more.
No, I think there's 11 to get the exact number, but there's a lot. That's like a quarter of the grid.
There's also some good drivers there, like Bakita, Houlihan. I don't know, and then here you got Matt Lamb, who did well last season. Spidey can maybe pull some tricks out of the bag. You never know.
Spidey, he's going to need a big backpack.
Yep.
Just got to watch him in the last lap here at Kyalami. He loves the kids. Poor bloke's done it once and is going to remember him for the rest of his life.
I fear that every time I have a race around this circuit, last lap, all right, it's been clean so far, and then I approach that sausage curve. Please no. And then I take it so cautiously and take such a wide line through there.
I find sometimes when people do that, they actually muff it up more and just turn in a little bit early. I'm like, oh no. Thank you, Alex Crawford, for the membership. Much love. Yellow had some really good pace in the classifications. There's a couple of cars, well, a couple of splits that are quite similar. And there's no really slower split. It's very well balanced. And that wasn't intentional. That's just how it's worked out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the availabilities that people have put down. But you look at some of the names in yellow and it looks so stacked, but a lot of the yellow drivers would have been relieved to not see Andy's name in yellow.
That would have been a
Sorry,
good
2
thing to watch,
secs.
though.
That's
2
a very
secs, lads.
twitchy
This is
Kingston.
the battle for that reverse grid. Kingston really putting the pressure on Raggy for P12 as a wild Lexus appears. Oh, there'll be scenes if Malith can get through here and finish 12th.
I'd love to see it, but I do want to see Raggy get that position. He's worked so hard for it. It's been such a good race for him. He does deserve a little bit of cheese at the end of the line.
What cheese? Oh, he's just lost the rears. You've just cursed him. Brayden,
yeah.
shut your mouth.
We're just talking about the events.
Oh, he's
What are we
dropped the
supposed
spot.
to do? Not talk?
Just cursing.
Nah, he'll find it back. He's fine.
That's a lap 1 incident that's just come through. I wonder if that's...
45, I think that's Regan Herbert's number, I believe.
Or they're just accidentally writing Lap 1. There's a lot of penalties coming through right now.
Oh, they've probably been busy.
Or the bot's just... The hamsters cracked into gear.
Michael Young has gotten on the back of Brit again. It was only 4 tenths of a second, rather, clear of Brit now, fighting for that position in P4.
Very interested to see if Connor, as we discussed earlier in the stream, was AM class last season, and he's made his ACC debut. Got a wildcard entry into the Pro-Am finals and got a win. So he's also done the classifications for this season, and he's got himself up to Pro. Doesn't even need that Pro-Am badge. He's not here to put shoes on caterpillars.
Yeah, that finals race was fantastic by him. It wasn't a circumstantial win or anything. Like, he won that purely on merit, so it was super impressive by him. And that Pro title is well deserved.
For the commentators, what is so far the best Kyalami race you've seen for this round? Split Grand Race 2.
Yeah.
Besides that disaster of a start, it
No
was
comment.
just full on. It was just fantastic.
There was a lot that happened that race.
I called it in chat as well. I could already see what was going to happen. And Malik delivered the perfect comms for it.
Yeah, it's nice to watch back.
Sorry, Mum, if you ever watch back. To be honest, though, I can't remember much else.
Through. Raggy's showing his nose, showing that
That's
he
why
hasn't given up.
He
That's
loves
very
his
rich.
Macca. He loves his Macca. I reckon if he owned one of these cars, he'd sleep in it.
Has he ever had a
With it.
different colour combination on that car?
I don't know.
It's always green and black, isn't it?
If you like it, stick with it.
I think if I owned a McLaren, I'd be sleeping in the car as well, but that's because I'd have to sell my house to get it.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have no option.
Can your house do this?
What's your colour, Pat? What's your favourite colour? Is it red?
No, it's like a dark blue, I'd say.
So why have you gone a red livery then?
I think it's a good change it up. You know, I thought the color combination looked good,
Yep.
and it actually apparently turned out to be almost the exact same as the HPD livery for SRO. So
Nothing wrong
it
with
looks
that.
good.
That car's seen better days. That looks good. Delivery looks good. The car doesn't look so good. Reynolds on the back. Oh, Lamborghini's really pushing. O'Donnell's managed to stay on the back though.
He's giving it the beans, I think.
See, my colour is orange. It's not a very popular colour by all stretches, but I've always liked orange. This Raggy was so close to be able to get that move done. Lost the rears slightly. So this is the final lap of the race. He's going to put all the pressure on. If he gets in front and up to 12th, he will start P1. If he finishes the way he is, he has to qualify again in the super qualifying.
He's really looking like he has just that little bit more pace, and just those laps where he lost position just weren't great laps for him.
Got one. Yeah, has lost out to O'Donnell. I'm just seeing on my screen. So there was a bit of chopping and changing through sunset on this lap. Timing sheet isn't correct.
Yeah, it does that.
Good like that. But he's not far enough. But get him into the hairpin. No, Porsche has too good a jump out of there.
Yeah,
And
it's
it looks
really
like
good sector
Henderson is going to take split blue to their first checkered flag, followed closely by Woods, and then Gallo, and 5 seconds behind we have an absolute gaggle of cars.
Britt, Young, Reynolds. Kitching's going to finish across the line of O'Donnell on debut. Blair, P9. Lamb, P10. It's not going to be close enough for Raggy as Connor Kingston's going to start on the front row for the next race alongside Marcus Van Vliet. But Raggy did start 19th. Had a great drive. Can't be disappointed with that. Sneakers, who had the moment, fought back nicely up to P18. Self-inflicted, unfortunately. And that's a lost Bentley. Oh, what a nice man to straighten him up.
I believe that is that. Oh, yeah, that's Saxon.
I got
Saxon
you,
looks like-
babe.
Oh, he almost
Has he
lost
given it
out
back?
to- Almost.
Ryan Green He's been in the thick of it as well. Whoa.
Oh God.
That was a
Out there, quick
violent... Busting to go to the toilet, perhaps?
I noticed you got very close to that pit wall at the end of your race last night, Pat.
Yep. Got to zoom by the checkered flag to get the good photo ops.
What's some of that? Update from Raggy's stream. He lost time when his dog unplugged his headphones, so he had no sound for a lap or two.
Always got to blame the dog.
The poor dog
Adrian
has been
fucking-
thrown under the bus.
And Tom Riley.
On debut as well.
Oh, that was a car in the bin.
That is an interesting mix of colours.
Wow.
Yeah, nah, racing.
Stu Matthews. Oh, that's what he thinks
Yeah,
about
nah.
that Aston Martin. He's got to call up to Pro-Am, which is nice to see. So obviously he's got a bit about his pace. So we'll see if race 2 can bring any. It's going to be spicy, isn't it? Because Henderson kind of just walked away with it there. So be interesting to see how his racecraft goes in this second race.
Yeah, you're right. He went unchallenged from the start to finish there in that race. But now starting from P12 in the reverse grid, he's going to have a bit of work to do if he wants to improve.
What is so far the most unexpected car choice for this sprint season? Great question there, Ultimate Local. For me, it's actually the lack of Audis and lack of Lamborghinis is kind of... I think there's less than 20 Audis in the entire Sprint series. I'm not too shocked about the low levels of Nissan and low levels of BMWs. Both cars aren't super popular. You actually get a lot out of both cars, but they're a little bit down. And the other one for me is anyone that picked the Lexus, who thinks it's going to be a race-winning jet.
Like there's, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear cut what cars are in the category of like a quite user friendly from both like the front engine and the MR cars, and then like ones that you can get the time out of them, but I think you need to have your head around the setup and the aero balance a little bit more. So
Yeah,
maybe
that's
where
it.
we
The
see the split
BMW's
between-
right in that ballpark that you're talking about.
Yeah, I experienced that all of last season. It just wasn't a great season for me because I just did not have my head around the BMW. Wasn't quite on top of how to drive it. But yeah, although it wasn't a great season for me, I decided to stick it out because I just liked the racing.
Yeah.
A bit further back in the pack, but I still enjoyed it.
The thing with the BMW is if you've driven it in the past and you continue on again with it this season, you're going to be well aware of its pitfalls and how you extract the best out of it. But a lot of drivers kind of just want to pick their own thing because it's the first time they've actually allowed it in our Sprint Series. And BMW is probably not at the top of anyone's list that often. And
But, like,
the
in
same with
Split
Lexus.
Green,
Yeah.
There were two in the top 12 most of both races, so it's
Yeah, one of those was it Robert Fluke?
no, it was it? No, it was Burrs and Cruz.
Cruz. That's right. Cruz was in the Lamborghini last year, and Burrs is on debut, or this is his first round of the sprints, which is great to see. And those that have picked the Lexus, well, we haven't had the Lexus for four or five seasons, so just as the novelty that it can feel like, people just want to drive it, and I respect that. You just got to jump in the car that you enjoy and have fun. And that's all it is at the end of the day. That's why no one's driving the Jaguar. No, because we're not allowed it. I'm not allowing it.
S.car.
Actually, I take that back.
Stefano.car tonight. Now,
When
do
the,
we have the information about... Oh, no, you go, Brent, sorry.
Sorry, yeah, when the Jaguar became an option, I jumped in it just to see how it felt, and I think I got through turn 1, turn 2 of Imola, and then I jumped out of the car.
No.
Absolutely not.
This is the BMW
Driver ID.
or the Jaguar you're talking about?
The Jaguar. I gave it 2 corners and then decided against it.
Just back to the BMW now. The M4 is kicking off in the real life GT3s. It's coming to the game. I'm not 100% sure when. We haven't been given a date. But I reckon the numbers of BMW drivers is going to increase tenfold when that car comes out. You love it or hate it, but it's going to be something new to ACC, so everyone wants to try it out. I'm a fan of the grill. The grill's pretty polarizing with its opinions. There's a few people out there that hate it, but I love
Like
that look of the
beavers?
car. I love it.
What do you like? Space Dog, have you seen the back of the decal livery for the BMW this season?
No, I have not. Which is surprising because I've seen the back of every car throughout the
Well,
seasons.
I don't think there's one in this split. So is there a BMW in this split? I don't think so.
Yeah, Chris Taylor, the V12 Aston is down as well. That's been replaced obviously by the V8 Aston I think 2 years ago, IRL. And yeah, it's a bit down in BOP. It's got a couple of tracks that it's okay at, but I don't think you're going to win a race in it. But I just want to bring you to your attention, guys. This is Split Red. This is David McNulty's split, and it's coming down like cats and dogs out there.
Yeah, there were whispers in the chat earlier about Split Red having rain forecast, but it was very early days to be calling that. But
They are dusting around. It is.
Heavens are
Drifto
open.
Schmifto ready.
Look at the weather thing up the top right. 30 minutes time, it's getting heavier, so there may be a wet start to Split Red,
I think
which
it does rain there quite often, doesn't it?
Kyalami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, their last 12-hour was absolutely bucketing, and they had only like 10 cars, didn't they? Is that the weird one?
Yeah, I just couldn't
think
get teams there because of COVID,
Mm.
which is unfortunate. Mind you, we just looked. Pickford's done a 41.7 in the wet. Oh, that seems quick.
That's very quick. That's too quick.
That's
That can't be real.
that's what I saw.
That's not real.
That can't be real. Pickford,
He's been in the
mo-
Bentley again.
Yes, loves that thing.
What do you mean again? He's never left.
We're talking about Raggy being living in a McLaren. I think Pickford definitely lives in a Bentley. 100%.
It's probably more spacious than the McLaren, I'd say,
Very true.
if you were to choose cars to live out of.
There's a few acres in that car. Takes up a lot of real estate.
I love it. Imagine just rocking up around town in that Bentley, drinking your margarita. Actually, I don't know what you're
Here's a
drinking.
question from Ultimate Local. Out of all front engine cars, can you guys rate it in a top 10 manner? See, that's difficult because, as we see Sadness.
So, Spencer Lee, miles behind, is great name. Much sad.
It's tough to rate cars because they all have their like strengths and weaknesses in different like aspects of both engineering and like racing, I guess. Like some have better aero than others, some have better engines or things like that.
I could give you my ratings if you like. How I see the cars.
Give it a go.
Give me 1 second. So, I would say competitive wise, if you know how to drive it, the Mercedes is probably the better one, the Evo. But it's got no front end, and it feels odd to drive if you're not really sure how setups work. It isn't great. Bentley is super competitive in this game. The Aston is not absolutely as quick as those two, but performance-wise in results, it's a world beater. You can just extract so much consistency out of that car. So they would be the top three for me for front engine. There wouldn't be 10 of them on the game. Other ones, you got the Nissan or BMW, and that's all track dependent. You could throw a blanket over it. I'd probably say the BMW, especially if it's an endurance race. BMW is really good at endurance races. It's tyre wear.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want a car that you can easily catch as well in an endurance race. The Aston Martin is all over that. If you start to lose the rear a little bit, it's such an easy car to catch. As we see a McLaren lose the rear and just back off onto the track, that's some good heads-up driving.
There might be a brown patch in Spidey's seat.
I wouldn't rate the Jaguar or Lexus in the top 5 for front engine. As far as the mid-engine cars go, they're all got a big chance of getting wins. Honda probably struggles at a few spots. But yeah, it's great to see.
Philippa loves driving the AMG around Suzuka. Said it's her favourite car to drive around there. There's nothing weird about it whatsoever.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think Akita's favourite car of all time is the Ferrari as well, I've heard.
Non-Evo.
The non-Evo. Massive fan. Massive fan.
Absolutely.
Even though it's been burnt to a crisp. Do we all individually answer this question that's just been asked? As a commentator, what's the worst and best thing about being one? I mean, it hasn't happened to me, but I'm sure it's happened to Mull. I think the worst thing is getting complaints about commentating on the race. Like, people taking curses, like, to heart, I guess. Because all our job to do is to talk about what's happening, as we see in Nissan absolutely trying their best.
Sunset's trying to kill people in this qualifying session. A very long tail livery, just quietly. Love it.
But like, we're trying our best to commentate on the racing, and we're just talking about what we're seeing. But I think the best part is like getting along with the people you're talking to and just having a chat about racing and learning stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love hanging out with Mullock and Pat. It's great. The bad thing about it is we've got to commentate on motorsport. I hate motorsport. It's gross. Crap. Just a bunch of cars going around in circles.
You can't be serious. You can't be serious.
Ruining the clouds. It's burning an ozone layer in the sky.
This is why you can't have
These
nice
cars.
things. This is why you
Formula
can't have
E
nice-
is good.
Like, said no one ever. Not even Elon Musk would watch that shit.
Where's the push to pass? Where's the boost? Exclamation mark boost in chat to go faster.
Yeah, fan vote. Fan boost.
Just going through the cars at the moment. We've got no time left to qualifying. Daffer has invalidated, so he's not going to get a lap in. He's going to start from the very back. And that was the only driver who didn't set a time. I'll answer now in regards to the commentator thing. Kind of what Pat touched on. I love most aspects of commentating. It's a great way to get involved with and discuss lots of topics, not just the actual racing. As far as the negative side, people they're literally taking it a little bit too literal for commentator curses, thinking that something that we say on stream is our fault that you crashed, which is not the case.
Yeah, if you have an incident, it's either your fault or it's the Audi's fault.
Or your dog's fault. At Raggy.
At Raggy. Other than that, maybe some trolls that just jump in there and have nothing better to do, but I think that's pretty much across any type of platform.
Yeah. Obviously, like, you're not always going to have people that enjoy what you say or what you talk about, but as long as you do it, like, in the right light,
Yeah.
I don't see...
And that's it. They join the broadcast to watch. Like, they clicked the button to be here. They weren't
You
like
don't have to be here.
held at gunpoint to come and watch. But yeah, just
With
obviously
saying that,
we're
if
ready
you
to
haven't
go.
liked the stream already, 100 likes and Mullick's 12-year-old golden retriever Max gets fed. So
The
don't
goodest
forget
of
about
boys.
that. Yep.
Oh, he was so funny today, my dog. I finally managed to get the electric scooter out for a bit of a razz in the backyard, and he went ballistic. 12-year-old trying to run around and bark. He sounded like he was about 3 weeks old. It was so funny. Just so excited. We haven't been able to do too much because of the weather down here. It's been very wet it's one of the wettest winters I've seen in a long time. But he's a funny boy.
Surely he'd be loving it. Get out in the mud.
Oh, he does, but we don't really have mud in the backyard. It's pretty well paved. Get him out in the front yard, he goes ballistic. He's a golden retriever. He'll find water anywhere. So I try and avoid getting him too dirty.
You know, one of the beauties of golden retrievers, though, is it doesn't matter how dirty they get. It kind of just seems like all the crap just eventually drops off their fur within a couple of hours.
Yeah, anyone that knows a golden retriever knows how much they molt as well, though. Funny stuff. Are we going to see the straight line? Obviously the answer is no, but...
Last night for Yellow was a bloody disaster.
We do have an Aston Martin, don't we? Is that Neil Wood?
Yeah, we've got
Ed
Aston. We've got a couple of Astons.
Stu Matthews?
Stu Matthews, Neil Wood. Oops. That is
Well,
the
I
wrong...
don't understand what these safety cars are doing. It's like they don't want the stubby. Why don't you go to the line that the game provides, like right there? Just go to the line.
It won't matter, mate. We've tried the line at Barcelona and people still butcher. Look, that is not... Oh, there we go.
That's insider trading, I think.
I think some people get like so focused and prepared for the next race that they forget, oh, yep, we're doing a formation lap, even though I'd just been told. But here we go. A race to... This is going to be called by B. Ross.
Ah, that's Bob, isn't it?
It's, yes.
Race 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I really like it when you call reverse grids. I'll call it because they've. I think this split needs to have a good run and show everyone how it's done, and then you can destroy the next split.
Emily asks, "Did you get snow?" No, we didn't get snow where I am. Not like last year. Last year we obviously had COVID, and it was a very negative last year across all facets of life, really. But we had a sprinkling of snow in the middle of a city that hasn't done that for 50 years, which was really nice.
Yeah,
But
we had a little bit of that.
none of that this year.
We had a little bit of that. I think it was last year. Was it last year? It may have been. It was earlier this year. I was working. I'm a carpenter, just in case anyone's on there. I was working inside like a warehouse at like a fire brigade training facility, and a big ball of white powder just exploded next to my head. And I'm like, what the hell? I turned around, and one of my colleagues had just thrown a snowball at me. And I'm like, is it snowing outside? And he's like, yeah, heaps. And I walked outside, and my car was like just like pillowed in snow. And I'd never properly seen snow in my life, so it was incredible.
Same with me.
Off work. Got to go home early and have a beer. It was great.
I've been in the snow, like on a mountain where it's snow, but it hasn't been snowing at the time. And then to have the snow come down, oh, it actually caved in a lot of roofs in the city. They're just not used to it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. What interesting now is Braden Ross, get ready. Let's do race 2 here, Split Blue.
Yeah, we're about to run away with this one. We've got Kingston and Van Vliet on the front row, both in Porsches for the start of this race. Kingston Pro, Van Vliet Pro-Am, so he's going to want to be holding on tight to that position, trying to earn maximum points. They are followed by Lamb and none other than Scott Blair.
I just noticed that Michael Young is in the pits. He hasn't readied up. That is effing chat for the Honda.
Yeah, that's no good. So we're going to have a little bit of a delayed start, just the way that these reverse grids have worked out. So we'll click over once P13 crosses the line. Still holding red. We're about to go green. And we're away. Looks like Kingston has had quite a good launch. He's got that inside line. So he's going to couple up. We're going 3 wide with the Lamborghinis. Almost 4 wide. One of those Lamborghinis. I believe that may have been Britt, getting nice and close. Still 3 wide towards the rear. It's looking pretty clean so far. And then there we go. It's all done. There's 3 cars off into the sand. 2 of them Lamborghinis. Is that O'Donnell, Blair, and Kitching, if I'm not mistaken? Still 3 wide towards the rear. And that's a disaster. There's the car park. There's IG. Oh, my Lord. That's a safety car if I didn't see it. Still waving the green flag, which is good of the marshals. Just paying attention.
Stop car.
Well, I've got questions.
They almost did it. They almost made it.
Clean. It's the C word that just fucks it up.
There's a few cars still stationary, just reflecting on what's gone down. Reynolds.
Oh, Raggy's in there. Reynolds is in there. Riley's in there. If you've got an R somewhere in your name, Britt's in there. Okay. So Michael Young from the pits moved up 4 spots. Yeah, there was some none. Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Some lack of holding your brakes. Yes.
Got a big talking to about yellow flags before our race last night. Not sure about any other splits, but
Is there safety car? We'll press the fucking button.
it's pretty important to keep an eye on that yellow flag, because at the end of the day, it's a 30-minute race, so you want to be spending as much of that racing as you can. So lifting off and being cautious is probably the easiest thing you could do.
Thank you.
This is good for Young, I guess. Just wanted a single file restart.
So we'll try and get the replay up of that absolute debacle.
So I was mistaken. It wasn't Blair that was involved. Blair's just fine, sitting up in P3. Kitching tailing just behind in P4. The Green has jumped into the pits. Green's obviously got a little bit of damage that he's going to want to get repaired. while we're under safety car conditions. Try not to go a lap down.
So how spicy is this? 2 Porsches lead 2 Lamborghinis. Who do we think is going to be the big winner here out of the 2 manufacturers?
I reckon Kingston may be able to run away with this one. I think Kitching and Blair have a bit of work to do if they want to be able to get onto the rear of Kingston, because Van Vliet's going to make his Porsche as wide as possible. Because we're just looking at a replay of the race start.
What was that yellow car in front?
There's a big Constantina effect already just coming through turn 1, and just a sandwiched Honda. Is that an Audi?
That's a McLaren.
No, there was a yellow one. I believe it was an Audi, and it may have been my good friend Nick Miller.
I think we've got to do this. There's just so much going on.
It's just like the car on the apex just stopped. It looks so good at night, this track. Up ahead.
Yeah, it's right here where it got silly.
A bit of help with that one car.
Yeah,
I
there.
think so.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the
it got a
one.
bit of help.
Good
Oh,
try.
I would give you a stern handshake if you clicked on the right car.
Yeah, I don't think. What
Brett.
we'll do-
Surely
just-
it's Brett.
We'll go on board. The car is
One
there. We go.
facing the wrong
It's-
way.
It is Brett.
Yes.
Oh, so it's kind of got a bit unfortunate there with the way the track works, and then has rejoined a bit trickily, and then just hold your brakes. Oh dear.
Yeah, just wanted to show that. You got to, if you're no chance of saving the car, you got to stop yourself from rolling and pinch them quicker. But safety car is coming in. It's in now, and we're ready to go. As
Kingston has control of the race.
He does.
There's a bit of Magello going on here, I think.
You can tell by Van Vliet, he's away. Van Vliet has not been caught napping. Van Vliet is still right on the tail of him. As we're watching Lamb have a look on the outside of Kitching here. Scott Blair also wanting to get that position nice and early, because he knows how hard it is to get that position later on in the race.
Just cycle through a little bit. There are single file. This is why I do like the safety car restarts. Just settles the drivers down, gets a bit spacing. It's up to the drivers to be well aware, get their tyres up to temps, and off they go. So Kingston leads the way. Started P1. Oh, the lunge.
Yeah, I think you just saw Henderson going a little bit wide there, and then tried to turn a mistake into a move, which wasn't quite going to work.
I saw this Otto often last night, leaving that inside open. He's left the door open. He doesn't want to fight.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
a bit of a touch. That was Tyquin.
Yeah, massive save there.
might need to let him through here, I think, just to be safe, or not. I don't know if you call that a bump pass, bump and run.
Yeah, he's left the door open there for him to come back through.
Yeah, good eye.
The fight again. Leave that one. That one's good. It was obviously a bit harder. The O'Donnell was just trying to be aware of Henderson coming through the inside, and was just scrubbed off a lot more speed than Tyquin. But Robbins racing as Kingston goes fastest to start with the 43.8. We can expect that to come in though. Any updates on Split Red? Is it still coming down like cats and dogs? Super excited. So the next split is currently raining in practice. Mr. McNulty, he's gone and done it.
So Blair just up ahead, still giving Van Vliet a really hard time, just trying to find that position as quickly as possible, and then on to the next one. Van Vliet, no slouch either, still only 4/10 clear from Kingston.
215 in the pits, 115 is put over. I think that's McDonald. Not McDonald. Spidey. From memory.
Arnold?
It is. Spidey. Done. Don't know what's happened there. He hasn't done it as well with his qualifying fuel. Wouldn't be the first one. On
As
board
he said,
Lamborghini.
these two just going at it, staying right with him. 2 Lambos chasing 2 Porsches. Porsche.
They've got to work together, these Porsches, because they're going to be under pressure on this straight every single lap.
Yeah, as soon as you see Van Vliet try and move on Kingston, it's going to compromise the exit of whatever corner it's on, and that's going to open up a window for Blair to perhaps capitalise. Blair gets a great exit out of there, nice and close to the rear of Van Vliet. Going to try and pick up that slipstream as best as possible and see if he can try and have a look on the inside coming into turn 1. Van Vliet's covering the inside line, squeezing him as much as possible.
Lamborghini straight line speeds just says, nah, sorry mate, thanks for that.
Yeah, Blair a little bit later on the brakes there as well, which has rewarded him with P2, so Blair on to the next one. Going after Kingston now. But Van Vliet's done a really good job there to hold that position for as long as he has.
Got Porsche Lambo, Porsche Lambo. We've got McLaren, Ferrari, Bentley. Sonegas has just moved up to P6. He's just got Gallo. And then we've got a swarm of Porsches with Henderson, O'Donnell and Tyquin. That's the top 10. Great signs. Winner from race 1, Lachlan Henderson's up to 8th. Damon Wood's down to 15th.
If the top 4 can stay as they are and Henderson can get into P5, then we'll be looking at a Porsche Big Mac, which would be nice.
That's very interesting there, Brayden. Would you eat that? No, I wouldn't.
You guys are always commenting on your sandwiches, and I look out for the rare Big Mac on the leaderboard, which is the alternating manufacturers over 5 positions. There's a middle bun there. Actually, that middle manufacturer can be whatever it wants.
You can
Nah,
make it whatever you
they're all
like.
bred, aren't they?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
They've got to be the
close.
same.
There's 2 gaggles now. Top 4 broken away a little bit. Just the battles from behind, I think. I'm trying to find who it is. Oh, thanks, game. I don't want that. Bruno Gallo's moved back up to P. Has something happened? I swear there's a car missing. Where's Lamb? Lamb's all the way down in 12th, so something's happened there. And that's why there's a 2.8 second gap between 4th and 5th. As Henderson makes a move on, looks like O'Donnell. Great to see. I'll tell you what, Ultimate Local is on fire tonight with some quick chat questions.
Oh, so we just see contact between Henderson and Tyquin. Tyquin's run off into the sand. Sorry, no, Henderson. Is that Henderson off into the sand?
O'Donnell in the sand.
Ah,
the up big
thank
time.
you.
You got there in the end, mate. That's all that matters.
well.
Look, he had a 1 in 3 chance and just unfortunate result.
So, for the commentators, as fellow sim racers, what is the track that you really hated at first but loved it so much in the end?
It was
Mazzano.
Kyalami for me.
Mazzano. You didn't like it at the start?
No, well, I didn't know the circuit, and then I started to get my bearings, and I'm just like, I don't like this circuit. It's not my jam. But then every time I've had a race here, something good's happened for me. Like I've always ended up with a fairly decent result. And now every time I drive here, I work pretty hard at it because I know that it can reward me if I keep all my berries in a basket.
Yeah, mine's Mazzano. I didn't like it to start with. Then I just started to enjoy it. I think once you get used to a track as well, you kind of base how you think of a track is based on your results. And just trying to find what happened to the Lamb.
Oh no.
Can't think of a good answer.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
It's on the stream end because I'm watching another stream and the server seems fine. So
Okay.
Whilst Mullock has a bit of an octopus moment,
That's a
I think
hard question.
Spa's the exact opposite. I love Spa, but every time I have a race around there, it just doesn't work out for me. Like, I don't know if I go in with too much confidence. Like, I go in there thinking, like, yeah, I'm King Dick, this is my track, I'm going to do really well, and then I just overdo it a little bit. I was just seeing an incident between
Lamb.
That's the
Senekas
replay.
and Lamb. So that's what's happened to Lamb. That's why he's fallen so far down the pack. And I will not be surprised if there's a little bit of penalty coming Senekas' way.
Doesn't end there though. Keep watching. Lamb has been absolutely mugged in half a lap.
Wow.
Sure what's
Yeah,
going on. I've lost one computer.
Yeah, that's one of the bad things about being in an incident. Once you get back on track, you've got cars coming at full speed behind you. And you're going to be under pressure straight away. Like, you want to take a moment to recollect yourself, but you can't. You need to defend.
We're back, baby.
It's gone really wide.
We're back, baby.
Back online. Everyone's happy.
I'll just keep watching the replay until I can get it officially sorted.
All right, you can suck those 6 other arms back into your torso now.
Done.
And we're back.
Great thing about having 2 PCs. Sorry, 3 PCs.
Not much change in the standings while we're
Good. They
going
waited
over
for
that
us. That was
replay.
very
Does he-
unselfish
yeah,
of them.
That cleared quite quickly. These top 4 are just...
Epic. This might be one of the best battles we see all season.
Blair is pushing really hard. You could see him getting a little bit twitchy through barbecue there. So he's working really hard. He's not cruising, that's for sure. I don't think any of these drivers are cruising.
I was surprised at Green's reverse grid last night. Like, all 12 of the reverse grid drivers were in a gaggle most of that second race. And so cool to see in the replay at night, especially coming up towards sunset.
Yeah.
Can we flick back to just Gallo? Because those delta times, those splits between Gallo, Senekas and Henderson are very tight.
That's Henderson looking to make a move. Oh, is that... Senekas is absolutely sneaking up the inside and getting a boot from the back there. That is...
And Henderson, thank you very much. What has he done for me? Has he given me the Big Mac?
That
There it is! Yeah, get up there, baby.
Da 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 da. That was just a bit... Maybe might have missed where they had to brake coming up the hill there, thinking about... Oh, that's a bit of a boop around...
Oh,
Line shaft.
how have they got away with that? That's disgusting.
Oh,
That's
just forgot to brake
not ideal.
when you're calling out your number, I guess.
It's going to be some pretty severe rear damage on that Bentley, and I know from first hand when you have rear damage, it's not easy to control that car.
That is,
Yeah, I think Brendan will be
That's a
kicking
sad
himself
sight.
for that. We'll get a car off at Cheetah and a car off at the Crocodiles on the mini map.
it's all happening here at Kyalami in my best Richie Benno voice.
Shoo for 22.
I think with Senekas there, probably just got caught up trying to defend and then find his braking point coming up the hill. It all gets a bit much sometimes going up that. Thanks, Lawrence. I'm glad someone heard my pun.
You can see Van Vliet he's losing a bit of the gap's expanding between Blair and Van Vliet on the straights, but Van Vliet is just so good on the brakes that he's closing up the gap straight away, getting right back onto the tail of Blair here. So Van Vliet's not going to let that one go anytime soon. P3 is not good enough for him.
This is the great thing about these reverse grid races, is there's like pro-ams can just absolutely spice up the pointy end of these races, as we're hopefully not going to see too much sadness. Oh, too wide there, it's not too enjoyable. Oh,
Yeah, well, better leave it to space.
that's one of those weird ACC hits, isn't it?
Yeah, I was talking about that last night. There's a couple of strange contacts, especially with the front of the car, where the weight should be planted and it shouldn't spin. A couple
The
of
slow
last
speed
corner.
ones that,
Yeah.
that just don't make too much sense either.
Yeah, that sends the front around. Like it takes so much contact to do that. But anyway, the Big Mac in the top 5 has sent Braden Ross into a fizz.
Oh no, Scott
been
by air, P1.
Yeah, the
He's taking
becoming a
it.
deconstructed Big Mac now. Now that the meat is on the top of the bun.
To watch that.
It's a bit of a different concoction now, isn't it?
Ruins.
Still delicious though. Still provides some delicious racing.
I don't know if I'd like it. I mean, you're getting stuff all over your hands, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's fine. Very saucy. You get some extra sauce in there. It's great.
Sauce on the top as well, just so you can put your fingers in the sauce.
Use that move, Blair, up on the inside of Kingston. Nothing Kingston can do here. Just got to let it happen. Oh, he's very late on the brakes.
He tried to cover it
space.
off.
Respect.
Yeah, he tried to cover it off for going later, but it was just too much of a task there against the Lamborghini.
I think what I found important there last night is that, like, the inside, you just have to protect the inside at all costs. Because there's no way you're going to win being on the outside of the next corner, I don't think, unless somehow you have immaculate grip around the outside.
It's tough going.
And
Now,
Sneakers,
Yeah, if Sneakers can get by Woods here, then we may just see another Big Mac a little further down the field.
I think he's had a moment because he's dropped right off the back of Woods.
Herbert's just found a position in front of O'Donnell. Herbert promoted up to P7.
Henderson's right on, no, Tyquin is right on the back of O'Donnell. These two have been going at it both races.
Yep. It's great to see Herbert's got some... hang on.
What?
Didn't Herbert start from the back? Or did he... Oh, because he got qualifying in. So he would have started in top 15. But still, that's a great effort to come from 13th down into 7th. Didn't get to finish the first race properly because he had to go to the pits via teleportation.
Yeah, McConnell hasn't quite had the dream start that he had last race either. He's still sitting down in P20. I think he started around P21, P22.
From that angle, it looked like the car was going slowly momentarily, but maybe it's just my Discord being funky.
No, I'm getting that too bad. But yeah, I think it just might be. It'll be on our end. I think the broadcast will be just fine.
As John Rivera gets a 15-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 4.
Love the sparks at night time. That looks so good. So awesome.
And exhaust, especially on this
Oh,
McLaren.
yeah.
Oh, it looks so good.
Let's go down the order a little bit. So McConnell, who was caught up in the dramas on lap 1, has jumped up to 20th.
All right, so I'll eat my words.
This man's insane.
It's a poor sector 1, but everything after that has been just fine.
You want to know what's more impressive? Michael Young started from the pits and is into P18. He
Yeah,
forgot to hit drive
that's
and is in P18.
Reynolds is right at the back as well. He was caught up in lap 1 shenanigans. The car, he did have the fastest lap for a little while, but that is now over to car 333, which is Lachlan Henderson.
Yeah, Britt as well, sitting in P35. Currently sitting in the pits, also with a 10-second penalty, was one of the main suspects and victims of the lap 1 incidents.
Go up. These opinions on this livery.
No,
Wait,
next.
wait.
Wario.
Yes, I was going to say it in 2 words. What do you think of this one?
It's a me.
Continuing on from the last question, what is your most dominant favourite track? Most people will know mine, and I don't know why it is that track, but it is.
Is it Hungary?
It is. Oh,
Like
mate, I'm
Hungaroring.
so happy with you for saying it. I'll play it
You
later.
don't shut up about it. You don't let anyone like go without that information. You need to shove it down our throats.
Yeah, there's a few tracks, other tracks that I'm really good at, but they're not on this game.
I don't think I have an answer yet.
What about you? Well, you have to say Kyalami now, Pat, the
Well-
race winner.
Yeah, like, it was a great race, obviously, but I don't think I haven't ever hated it, kind of thing. It didn't like grow on me or anything. I think I always enjoyed racing around here.
Yeah. What about you, Braden? What's the track that's your most dominant favourite?
I mean, it's hard to say. Like, as I was saying before, Kyalami usually does pretty well for me, but Bathurst as well. I can. I'm quite good at keeping it out of the fence at Bathurst, which is nice. I think that's an achievement in itself. In terms of past results, I don't know how good they've been, but I mean, I've kept the car unscathed. Yeah, Bathurst 12 hour that we had as well. Every stint that I had, I was stoked with because it was only a couple of very small brushes with the wall, and that's about it.
Yep.
I think Suzuka. I never initially got along with Suzuka, and after the rookie series started at Suzuka, and I started putting a couple hours into the Honda there and getting back into it.
Yeah.
I think I finally started to enjoy the flow of that track, especially Sector 1. I'll say Suzuka.
Suzuka for me, I used to like it. I don't like it ever since this game. I don't know why that is, but maybe because it's Bentley things. Another track that I really do like is Zolder. Like, it's a little bit different. I really enjoy Zolder. There's a lot of good tracks, but they're
success there.
Hungaroring and Zolder's my two.
Oh, and Brands Hatch goes without saying. Fantastic.
I think Laguna's a good one, yeah.
Just quietly though, Lachlan Henderson is up into 5th, as we've been discussing. He's right on the back of Marcus Van Vliet in their 6 minutes to see if we can maybe sneak onto the podium in Zaporka. You get a pass at Bathurst if you're driving the BMW. But least favourite track for me,
Barcelona.
I'm going to say Brands Hatch, but
Don't beat around the bush.
this has an asterisk to it now. On this game, it's Brands Hatch in these cars. Don't like it. Don't reckon they suit it. But I actually really like it at other games. Yeah, I said it. This game, worst track. Zandvoort. Sorry, crap, shit. Delete it.
Zandvoort.
Barcelona, put it in the bin.
I liked Barca.
Too much pain. Spain without the S.
Whenever I'm asked about circuits in this game, I just forget what circuits are in this game.
There are a lot more than I remember.
I've got to try and figure out what's in it. Always forget about Nürburgring. Love nerves.
Well, we've added Alton Park for the first time to the Sprint Series, so we're going to see that for a lot of drivers.
That could go on the bin. Snetterton.
Oh yeah, Snetterton's. Yeah, well, most of the tracks are actually amazing in the GT4s, especially the UK tracks like Brands, Alton Park, Donington. But Snetterton, it just looks boring as well. It's just got nothing to it.
It's flat.
You know, it's on an old airfield, like most of the British
I
tracks.
was going to say, isn't Silverstone on an old airfield as well?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I'd never heard that before.
Hang it straight.
Dear.
Bit of those.
Young now up to 7. Make up your mind, game. Which one is it? Is it 17? Is it 18? Find it here. It is 18. McConnell 19. Great to see you still fighting back. Reynolds is up to 23rd now as someone goes very deep. So,
Yeah, Henderson's fighting really hard in that top 5 as well. He's only a few tenths out from P4 now.
well, this is a good performance here by Siciliano, Pro-Am class, P3 in 14th. Having a great race in the no front end Mercedes.
JPS. Jean-Pierre. JP, I should just say.
Yeah.
Gets a 10-second penalty for that collision we saw on lap 8, I think.
Yeah, I think we're
Yeah, it was,
expecting that.
just before Cheetah, I believe it was. These corners that we're coming through now. It was.
Hopefully we have some information coming soon from Kunos to possibly, who would know, to announce the next tracks they're going to be working on.
Yeah, wasn't it rumoured to be an American round of circuits?
Yeah,
I think that's just what people
rumour.
want.
Yeah.
I want Road America. I love Road America.
I don't think they're doing it, are they though? I don't think SRO are actually doing it.
Give us Long Beach and give us Road America.
I think so.
They did Indianapolis, I thought, last season, but they didn't include it in the game. So it could be licensing issues It's not just obviously this game. Then maybe they're competing with iRacing or some other platform.
Wait,
I don't know.
Daytona
Space Dog
Roval.
wants Long Beach. We barely do well with tracks with runoff. Do you think we're gonna do well at America's version of Monaco?
I'll be fine.
You reckon?
Why stop there? Let's go Macau, and let's add Monaco.
Yeah.
Let's add all three.
I
Balls.
think Daytona Roval would be a pretty good curveball
yeah.
to chuck into the game.
Well, that
I don't
won't
think
happen.
SRO do there though, do they?
I think they have done the road course, but I'm not 100% sure.
Chuck in Charlotte too. Why not?
We got robbed of our banked corners at Sandport.
All the tracks.
They owe us Daytona.
Just
Let's-
put in every track ever. Get Oran Park in here too. Why not?
Cam would say,
Just call
sorry,
it
he would pay all the money to have Long Beach in the Sprint Series.
Looks
I'll
like
chip in.
we're going to iRacing for one race. Or AMS.
Long Beach is fun. So funny. There's a little bit of a lunge there from Reynolds. On AMS2, we do some nights on that platform. When people first drive at Long Beach, they don't realise that the meterage board is actually not in metres. It's in feet. So when you see 400 feet, you got, I've got heaps of time to brake. And they're always off the runoff.
Goddamn
It's-
freedom units.
Vom. G'day, David Mason. I could live with it if it wasn't for the wheels.
Have a look at Bender. It's happening. It's really happening, guys. Every time there's a wet race, every time you get gifted with a wet race, Bender, you don't do very well in it. You say you're the king of the wet, but I beg to differ, my
But
friend.
he's smiling the whole time. Isn't that right?
He's got a throbbing foot. That's what I'll say. He better finish in that
Whoa.
top bracket.
I was really close. I'm not too sure who that was
Yeah.
just in the background there, but there was a lot of swerving to avoid contact.
Got 43 seconds to go as Lawson v Reynolds down to turn one. We're going to have to shoot up to
There's
the
a yellow
front.
flag at barbecue, I think it is. I think that's Taekwon.
It is Tycoon.
Yeah. So O'Donnell says, thank you very much. I'm out of here. He's going off by his own. As Scott Blair comes down to Cheetah for the last time up towards the Crocodiles, past the Bunnings snag curb.
Oh, is someone going to make a lunge?
Gee, I hope not. Wow.
Well done, Scott Blair picks
Nice
up
one.
the win in race 2 in the Lamborghini using my old
Nice
pedals. Connor Kingston on debut in the Pro class picks up P2, and Oliver Kitching in his trusted little Lamborghini picking up P3 with Van Vliet and race 1 winner Lachlan Henderson in 4th and 5th. We've got Gallo, Herbert, O'Donnell, another top 10 finish on debut. Fantastic. Same with Damon Woods. JP, pretty had a race to forget tonight for that one. Malith 11th. Taekwon had a bit of a spin last lap and finished 12th. So it's currently 34 past 9 on the OOR clock.
Fantastic recovery drive by McConnell there as well. It secures P19.
Oh, battle towards the last bit. Porsche versus Bentley. I don't like the Porsche's chance here as the Bentley just shoots away. Mason and those tyres or wheels, whatever they are, they're disgusting. Crosses the line. Another little battle. This is between two McLarens. Is that Lewis and Riley? Using all of the available curb. Won't get good times through there. Across the line. 30th and 31st.
Connor, I don't think you should be disappointed, mate. I think that's a great result. Didn't seem like there was a lot of fun you could do. A lot of fun.
How could you
A
be
lot
disappointed
do.
with P2? How could you be disappointed with P2? If you're disappointed with P2 in a competitive race, you're doing sim racing wrong.
I got P14 last time. I'm like, that's not too bad.
No, mate, that is shit.
I'll take that.
No, I'm joking.
This guy gets P2. Fuck that. Nah, Connor, you should be proud, mate. That's a good bunch of points. and
My
looking
word.
strong for the rest of the season. You know.
Yeah, young in chat tooting his own horn. P45 to P17. And, so you should be tooting your horn. That's impressive.
Driver of the day.
That's an eventful race.
Going to give him driver of the day just for that.
Yeah, I mean...
Just for letting us know as well, because that is something to be proud about too.
We didn't see it.
Not only has he made it up that many positions, he did it without causing any incidents.
That we know of. There was a car park
Very true.
a couple of times, so
Well, there was no penalty to his name, so couldn't have done too much wrong. And it is wet. That is a wet status,
wet,
and that is
wet.
consistent rain over the next half hour as well. 3 minutes 20 left in qualifying. Samwise Holmes on top of the board at the moment with a 146.2. But I dare say that may get punched down the order a little bit as we see these drivers do their last couple of laps and track improves.
where's this Pickford 141?
See, look, I think with the Pickford one, we didn't obviously see what happened earlier in the session. That could have been a really long session that he got done and it wasn't raining at the start.
It was dry.
Yeah. Or he could have just been...
He's just that good in the
that
back.
good. He's
It is
just
a
that
boat.
good.
He may have dipped the two-stroke into the road and a little bit of
Runs
extra
out.
pace out of it.
That two-stroke.
As Mir Oates pips Samwise by 2 and a bit tenths.
That's right. May's moved over to split red in the Rari. It's a Lexus in the top 5.
2 in the top 10.
Love to see what sorry, now drops to 6th. Carl Johnston's been a big improver, competitive time-wise. The last several rounds, he's moved up to pro class this season. Great times in the classification. What can I hear?
Who sex? I'm gonna go and get a drink.
Roger. I'm not sure if one of you is having a bowl of something, or my girlfriend's decided to eat the bowl.
Yeah, I don't think that's coming from me.
You should smack the bowl a bit harder. Are you alright?
Get some plastic plates and bowls just
It's
for stream
not
times.
edible. I don't think she has any idea I'm talking to her. I'm sleeping on the couch.
Let's play Guess That Drink. What's Pat Oliver getting? Water.
Right, let's go quickly change.
Water.
Is it water?
No. No. It's
Coke
it's
Zero.
almost. It's a Pepsi Max.
Better than Coke Zero in my eyes.
It's my favourite soft drink beverage.
Did we get 48? No, we didn't. We've had 47 people mark in as yes, yet there's only 44 cars out there.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And I'm assuming that the
That's
safety
fucked
car
up.
isn't one of them.
As we say, good evening to Sean Bubnow. Welcome into the comms box, mate.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you?
I've got my hands now relaxed after dealing with all those penalties and things from Blue. It was quite a handful.
Yeah, there was a fair bit going on there, especially beginning of race 2 would have been an absolute headache. The stewards'
Yes,
box.
I had 2 stewards be very kind to spend most of that 30-minute race just reviewing the start of race 2. We got there. We got there in the end, so we got a few more penalties come through post-race, but it'll all be done. It was done.
That's funny.
Nice job. What can Malik be yelling about?
Free pineapple and stuff.
What was all the commotion there, Mal?
Yeah. She's like, I was so quiet. I'm like, you weren't.
She may be quiet, but the sound of the spoon smacking
Yeah.
the bowl just to get that last little bit of ice cream out of the surface of the bowl.
Alright, good on her.
You paid for it, you
G'day,
know.
Sammy Bracken. Is the spots in reserve still? We don't do reserves in this series because of how popular it is and how sought after these seats are. But there will be a couple of seats open up after the first round, as is normally the case.
Yeah,
I
to
will-
kill some time.
I have to
Sorry,
remove
go
a
on,
few from the list that just don't turn up.
And to kill some time while you wait for a spot to open up, you can visit the merch store and you can become a Patreon.
Is there merch for sale?
Probably not.
No.
There's probably
There aren't
stubby
any more
holders.
hoodies, are there?
There's endless amounts of stubby holders because no split can ever do a straight line. So Mullock's got a cupboard full of them.
Yeah, I found out there's insider trading going on. Mul's told all the safety cars to not line up on lines, so no.
I appreciate you.
qualifying.
Appreciate you there, Brayden. You were close.
I just love trying to promote and market things really badly in a really untasteful way.
Yeah, send me a DM, Bracken.
Have you heard of YouTube Premium?
Oh
Yes.
no, do tell.
It is quite nice, but it's an excellent pairing with being a Patreon.
Did you know that Silverstone's built on a views?
Okay, Ultimate Local is saving our ass right now. They said, speaking of Kunos potentially adding things in the future, what car manufacturer or car do you wish to be included in the SRO GT3 homologation?
Wouldn't mind seeing a bloody Tirana in there.
Oi, it's the shit just pops up.
Maloo Ute. That'd be great.
I don't know.
Oh,
what other
no!
manufacturers- Oh, it's damp. It says it's damp still.
Damn.
Oh, of course it'll be
That's
damn.
all
but-
wet.
It won't last very long though. That'll be dry after 2 sectors.
David McNulty
But
turns
that's
up.
hot temps. That's normal temps. That's dry temps. So it's.
It'll have to
Wow.
dry out though. Like the track's damp because no car's been on it since it stopped raining. That's why it's. But if
Yeah,
you
so-
look at this,
Damp to greasy to dry.
look at the
Oh,
chat.
sorry. It'll go to green, I suppose.
Look at the chat.
I don't know what other manufacturers would really be needed, added that aren't already kind of racing.
Tesla.
It's about time Bender got into his fault. Well done.
Chevy? Does Chevy do the
For
American
GT,
stuff, do they?
not the written GTEs. Let's get it into GT3.
Maybe Chevy and Ford? I know Chevy do GTE, but that's the only ones I could think of.
They should just chuck a bunch of MX-5s in there.
I want to see the Toyota
Give
Supra and
iRacing a run for
GT4s.
their money.
Maybe, yeah, Toyota Supra? That could be a good one.
Can we all get Bender sucks in chat?
Oh, with pleasure.
Ah, there you go, Moritz.
He's onto it. Win watch 0 kilometers an hour. I quit. See you on New World. Bender sucks. Thank you, Braden, for contributing to that.
That's okay.
I assume that's the C8. The
I need
new
it-
Corvette.
I need to address something while we have a little bit of downtime.
Thank you, Matthew S. For, Hamster saying Bender's awesome. Doesn't know him well enough. Jan's saying leave Bender alone. Doesn't know
He
him.
doesn't know how to wait for the safety car.
Pretty sure I'm the only one out of all of you that's met Bender.
And we feel sorry for you.
Saw his face on a really cringe video of him and Dog Ryan and someone else doing some dab
Shy,
thing on an
yeah.
F1 stream. Yeah.
Funny story with David. We did a little stream in a hotel after some event we went to, and I couldn't get rid of him. He wouldn't fucking leave. I'm like, the trams are stopping soon, mate. You might want to catch one. Oh, no, she's be right. And keep going and keep going. Got to 2 a.m. and like everything stopped. I'm like, he's got, oh, I better go now. Well, you know everything's shut. Oh, no, I'll just walk back in Melbourne on Grand Prix weekend at 2 a.m. Brave.
Easy
Brave.
scat walk. Nah, that's a great scat walk. You never know who you're going to meet. And you know what's best? You'll probably walk past a nice
puddle.
little local
Fuck.
kebab shop.
Yeah, he didn't come across as a kebab. It was just a bit too dangerous for David.
No, I don't know. It sounds like
You
you've
always
never
seem to
gone.
find a kebab joint, though.
You've never
It's
been
always
out late
around.
enough in the city.
No,
Absolutely.
he's never eaten a kebab because he's never been drunk. Thank you for the sub there, Ultimate Local.
I think it sounds like you've never gone toe to toe with Bender.
In what
I
way?
don't think you'd want to. I don't think you'd get punched on with him. A little bit of fisticuffs. I think he can hold his own.
Mate,
This went really.
she'd be fucking quick.
Went
Well,
from drinking
got
to
quick
eating
hands.
kebabs to.
I'll throw water at him and he'll drown in
That's a
it.
normal night. Normal night out in town, isn't it?
Yeah,
You should have seen what he did to a guy who got in the way of his rejoin at Paul Ricard.
I believe it was called murder.
He's got a name on the map now. Google Maps
Um,
location.
Alrighty, so the safety car at the moment, it's in the pits. It's actually not in the pits at all. It's gone. It's dead. In these conditions, should you start on the dry tyre?
Right.
100%.
So we're already at a greasy track status.
There's already a
So-
dry line.
Dry
See
line
it.
has been formed.
Let's just check. Have we caught anyone out? Oh no, we do! Lukey Johnson! Come on down!
No,
Anyone else?
there's got to be another one.
No, Lukey Johnson! No, there's another one!
There was.
Oh, there was another.
Oh,
Oh,
Manos!
no, they're an amateur. They're excused. Oh, that sucks to see.
Their saving grace would be to come into the pits now.
Alright, sorry,
And
2
get
secs,
it.
guys. Sean Bubner, take us away.
Oh, great. Yeah, no worries. Get thrown under the bus. Thank you, Malik. But here
Welcome.
we go, guys, for the start of the new split. Wait for the green light.
G'day, Dan.
As they jump, we see the three-way battle possibly forming into turn 1 up here with the Porsche.
Oh,
No, there's no Porsche there. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Audi. Never mind. That's
Three
Mr.
wide.
Holmes going on the inside there. Oh, there's been a bit of a touch there. Careful coming out. Oh, contact, contact. Have I cursed it? Not yet.
How did he say
Oh, there's a Lambo getting some air into turn 4, which is amazing. They didn't bin it further than what they've done.
I believe I can
Is that Isaac Norman possibly around at the back there? That was Pignata that got
three
airborne.
cars.
Potential safety car towards the end of the field there. Looks like there's a few around.
That was...
That Lamborghini literally
Disgusting.
Has
did
been
an
a
ollie.
safety car called, by the way.
That was
Like it.
disgusting. Sean, what have you gone and
All I
done?
can say is welcome to the curse challenge for safety cars.
Lamborghini Hawk, am I right? That thing did a sweet ollie off that curve.
There was
What
some,
a-
Kickflip at the end of it though. That's all I want to know.
some very ordinary moves there.
There were some good moves though. Samwise off the start there. I think he went from P4 to P1. That's through turn 1.
Dive.
Four?
Someone's on their way to the moon.
But he's lost. Oh, I'm so confused.
May have been P3 safety car in P1.
I don't
Yeah,
know if that
we'll say
Lamborghini's
that-
come down.
He's probably still gaining some airtime, but have to agree with Mr. Matty Powell in chat there. Incredible save to not pin it further. Well, here we go.
Adini did well to hold on to that.
This is
Yeah,
the
special
great
event.
nose to grind here.
Wow.
Endo coming up. Whee!
That is brilliant.
What's that bloody TikTok audio that they use? You can get a few clips of that and get that audio. Wee!
Yeah.
Wee!
Oh, no, 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 no. Whee!
That audio gets me every time I hear it, I swear.
It's so good.
So what's kicked off?
Bit of sadness at the back of everything. I'm sorry I cursed this, but everyone deserves at least one.
I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think I'm done.
Step up your game, Paddy. Get on it.
No, we had a great start to race 1 last split. Thank you very much.
Just warming myself up for race 2 starts, boys.
Yeah, you're definitely the king of those ones there, Mom.
Hey!
The
96
big
Racing,
move.
Callum Gibbons. You legend.
I was gonna say,
Someone's
moves
using
and
it.
shakers.
Let's just skip this race.
wait, have we lost a car out of that top? Wasn't there someone Johnson, or was that further down?
Yeah, there was. They're the ones with wet tyres, so I'm pretty sure know what they're doing right now, and that's not staying on track.
I just want to take a second to say sorry to Bub now. I was going through replays earlier today of last night's
yes.
race.
I know what
We
you're
had,
talking.
we had very, very minor contacts. I didn't even think anything of it, didn't look at my mirrors or anything. And yeah, going through the replays today, it spun you around and I think it destroyed your race. And I'm pretty sure you mentioned it last night, but I had no idea what you were talking about. So, look, I don't know if I did anything wrong in that instance. If I did,
No, I've looked at the. I put my steward's cap on this morning and had a look at it, and as much as it brought me much tears and sadness, it was I was doing my sort of racing line. You were holding your racing line. We came together. Your Bentley weighs like 14 ton apparently, according to
And
my
you're in
Honda.
the Honda, yeah.
And my Honda decided to do spins in front of a Porsche, and then a Porsche murdered me.
Yeah, so
Fortunately.
anyway, apologies anyway.
Nah, it's racing. That's what it is.
What do you do? I mean, hindsight, I could have given a little bit more space. I could have looked at my radar a little harder, but what do you do?
Get off my track, mate.
It won't,
As you
it won't happen again.
Always leave it the space, right?
Live at the space.
I think we can let's throw racing incidents in the bin and make the drivers involved have a paper, scissors, rock off after the race.
I'm down. Mind you, or maybe not directly after the race, because
Nah.
that might turn into...
Get two bold actions and go
fisticuffs.
Mexican standoff, sort it out that way, like men.
Yeah. If you ever verse me in paper, scissors, rock, I've got to warn you, I always go rock, so be careful.
Yeah, it's a winning combination.
Sorry, 2 secs, guys. Manos, who's the other car on the wet tyres, didn't pit and is staying on the wets.
Oh dear.
Alright, safety car restart is underway. We are green, green, green. Holmes leads from Rashuti and Adini. What is going to happen?
Still up though. I don't know if anyone's hit that emoji.
I don't think the stewards are having a great time at the moment. Make sure you hit that button. I've seen something that's a bit nasty, and someone has been binned before the final straight. We'll check that out in a second. Is that Rose?
He's defending for her life right now against Adini.
Imagine starting a dry race on wets. Couldn't be me. I think we've all made some silly mistakes in the past racing online. What's the silliest mistake you guys in chat have made before in sim racing?
Sprint finals, I put my Mercedes into the wall under safety car and did pit.
Last night I jostled a little bit to the left thinking I had more space than what I did and destroyed my race, Rico's race, and I believe it was Kyle Jackson's race. I thought it was a very small swerve, but then when I looked at the replay, it was a huge swerve, and I just face palmed. I can't believe it. Messaged Rico straight away. I'm like, I'm sorry, man, that's on me. Yeah, that was my biggest one last night, I think.
That was good to view. I was behind that incident at the time. I mean, thank you for the 3 positions. But, I think my worst one was actually last sprint at Spa. I kind of forgot about the pit and realised the pit at the last moment. Came in and then underfueled and had to re-pit again. But it happens. It happens.
It's just in Jamie Saxon last split. Instead of putting his pressures up for race 2, he put them down. So that would not have aided himself whatsoever.
Oh, Matty Power with the wet start as well. That was finals, I believe, wasn't it, Matt?
Yep. Same race that I put the car in the bin.
Sorry, lads. Let's focus on the race a little bit. It's a great move by Pinata on Pickford. Pickford's 41 on the wets is a myth. Maybe I didn't see right, but it was something
2
else.
minutes 41. It was an hour lap.
Good racing nonetheless, as the cars got the conditions down to fast, so it's definitely a dry track. I've got a little replay to show you. This is not the optimal way to drive a car whatsoever. What's your thoughts on this? That one. That's interesting.
that one there.
And it's ended up binning poor Fayez. Spins him out.
Oh, that's not funny. The last end there. Wish I didn't see that second bit.
Yeah.
It's all games you see someone.
What?
That almost happened to you last night, Sean.
Yeah, there was a moment at the top of the hill where I saw, I think it was Chazrin disappear. The connection was a bit odd. As I exited the corner, he was behind me, but then 3 meters down the road, he was ahead of me. And yeah, there was some brown flags.
We've just got a McLaren here taking a very odd line through the last corner.
Yeah, that was interesting. Don't think
Not
that's
too sure
good.
if the ideal line is to do a loop.
Whoa.
Ooh. Spooked by the Lamborghini on the inside there, potentially.
Yeah, more problems, possibly hardware
I'll do
problems
four.
there or connection problems. That's not a
It
common
was a
mistake.
Dini,
to make.
if I'm not mistaken.
Was. Look at Gaggle, led by, is it Kieran Johnson? Is that the K is?
Carl.
Carl?
Coral.
Kind of got a little bit
Coral.
unsettled through sunset there. Managed to hold it.
Oh, Gold, giving it the beams. Love to see it.
Oh, Zachary James, if you watch this back, which I know you will, what the fuck was with your classification time? A 48.9 from you? Mate.
The ultimate sandbag.
48.
48, 38.7,
38?
sorry. There, 38.7. And it was an 8 somewhere in there, but I cottoned on, mate, and I didn't change yours. Class.
Should have punished him with AM class.
I punished him by leaving him in the Honda. Sorry, Pat.
Great car.
Hey.
Sorry,
Come on,
Sean.
Not
Look.
that bad.
Come on,
You can
James,
say what
coming
you
behind
want.
you.
I heard JP doesn't like the Honda last night. I think
Yeah,
so.
he's,
I don't
for some
want to
people,
go
it is a tricky car to drive. But I haven't driven the Honda enough to really say if I like it or not. I think it's a good car. I like the fact that it's on the grid. Got to get a bit of Honda action out there. Lexus
I am a fan of the Honda.
North.
Paddy must be after last night.
Can't complain. Still.
Can John have a bit more luck than his brother Jean-Pierre did in race 1 and 2 for Split Blue?
It's almost like a JB Rocket livery, isn't it? Is that what it's called?
It is. It's one of the
Okay.
Kovacs ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kovacs Racing supporting the colours with each other again, going similar liveries, much like their insurance.
It's pretty nifty. It's pretty, excuse me, pretty cute.
Pretty cool, pretty quirky.
Oh, John having a look, but it's not exactly an ideal spot to try and make a move coming through here. You want to wait until the hairpin and then have a look up on the inside. See if Floyd wants to cover that line because that Bentley is rocketing up. Just has a look around the outside. There is a little bit of space. He's going to place his car there and see how the exit is on the way up to Crocodiles.
That is experienced defending. I was saying it last night, watching a couple of drivers just leave that door ajar for people to dive in. You just got to move over a little bit just to kind of put the seed of doubt into the mind. Oh, he's gone deep there. Never mind. Don't worry. Oh, and then he's lost his rears as well. Both had a moment.
I've cursed him again.
No, not quite. That wasn't. Nothing happened from it though. You need to see cartwheels, Sean.
Oh, cartwheel, sorry. So I'm only semi-cursing.
No, we need to see severe damage, sadness, actual tears. But we might jump away before you do that.
Yeah, look, I don't really want to. Looks like Susana's. Oh, look, as I was just mentioning it.
I don't know how.
You and I
like
must be
matte.
reading each other's minds, Molly.
Is
How
it?
if I like matte colours?
Oh,
That was always going to happen.
Sean, I think you have to leave the commentary
hit
box,
the
mate.
gap.
Oh,
Sorry.
no, it doesn't end.
Hold
Slow
the
down for the
brake.
yellows, please.
Hold your
Oh,
brakes! Oh, for goodness sake.
That rejoin will be looked at as
Oh no, what have we gone and done?
We've only
Is this
bloody
official?
gone and
We
done it.
can't commentate together now, Mol?
I
What do you call
think
me?
shouldn't commentate at all. I shouldn't. Lando fangirl, Jamie Conboy, loving the name. He must still be upset. Lando, intermediate tyres, please, champion.
I'm surprised they didn't put wets on.
I'm surprised Jamie, out of sadness for Lando, isn't wearing wet tyres at the moment.
Oh, those. See, what do you think about the livery in front? I don't hate that.
I
As,
don't
like, fluoro
either.
colours go.
I don't mind it.
I'm not the biggest fan of fluoro colours or matte colours in general, but I like that.
It's just going to make him pop. It's just how it pops off the other colours around it.
There's bloody
comes to
Justin
me.
Tate not raced tonight. He's bloody playing New World. I'm going to rip him a new one.
This is a pretty dense gaggle of cars that we've got floating around. Is that P15 down? Could be an incident waiting to happen if someone gets a little too impatient, a little too aggressive.
Well, this is turning into a massive train now, leaving the other ones behind her. Then they're getting held up slightly by that Fez, but never know. Is that roughly like 10, 12 cars now, by the look of it?
Absolute gaggle.
Yeah, including none other than David McFulty in P22.
I do love to see the nose to tail racing though. It does have that special aspect to it.
I think the Stewart's going to be very busy though, from what we've seen. Oh, as that Gary just closed the gap, as we see, is that a Honda?
Charles Clark.
That is a Honda around.
It'll
Oh,
do it to
careful
you.
the rejoin.
Nah, nothing wrong with that.
Gary is also new to the Sprint Series, I believe. Fresh from rookies last season. Big improver, I'd say. Loves his sim racing.
Loves his sim racing indeed.
Sonicus pressuring the back of Sweet, trying to get his nose up there, and that is not how you put shoes on caterpillars, ladies and gentlemen. That
Welcome to
is
the Curse Club.
a spicy place to get got. Probably going to do the right thing and let him back, hopefully.
Spin there. Doesn't matter what you really do for the rejoin. You can do it out of respect, but damage is done. Oh, Mia. Very close there.
Definitely close there to Rashuti.
Almost giving him the Lawrenson treatment.
Holmes is
Yeah,
flying.
and the longer this battle goes on, the better it is for Holmes. Holmes is now, is that 3.1 seconds clear of P2?
Yeah.
Holmes is going, oh no, I'm looking at Rashuti, sorry. I think Rashuti is 3.1 seconds clear, and Holmes is about 1.5 clear of Rashuti, I believe. I just have a hit wall.
So 3.1, Rashuti's 3.1 clear of Holmes.
Ilko.
Ilko,
Oh, yeah,
what
sorry.
is he? What's he
Even at the
doing?
bee's knees.
Look at him go.
Bleeding Ams.
Give it a go, Bilko.
Broken collarbone. Who? Oh, almost
Bilko sells the
pranks
dummy.
himself. Left, right, left, and then right, and then left again.
Normally when that happens, someone's knocked out afterwards.
I don't think he knows which way he wanted to go there.
I think Floydie kind of sort of tried to spook him a bit, and he was cotton on.
Ilko is out of here like a bull in a china shop.
G'day, Scope. Well done, mate. You
Howdy,
walk.
Scope, welcome to the club.
Oh,
Oh, is there 3 wide at the back there? Jiminy Jilliker's Batman. This is Rochford up the inside of Gutierrez.
Oh, well done on the pronunciation. I was
Yeah,
scared.
very good.
Glad you chose to go. Oh, there's a bit of
I
a sand.
smashed it.
Gonna hold it, I think.
just
Two Bentleys
great
going
battles.
past the
Oh,
Bears.
too wide at the S's. Things you hate to see. This looks like the 311 car, Fayez, who got spun on the formation lap. He's in the pits with a lot of damage.
As Samwise gives us the fastest lap so far, 1:41.6. So that probably goes to show how much battling is going on here. Because I think they've all probably got a bit more pace in them. But the track is fast also, so...
Yeah, his nearest rival behind Rashuti was a 142 flat, so yeah, still 4/10 quicker than Rashuti behind.
On board
Both
with
clear.
Hayden McLaren. I'm not sure if you recognise this name, but he's one half of the Unleashed drivers. He's making his return to the Sprint Series. Brandon, if you're out there, mate, when are we going to see your face back out on ACC? Stop playing that garbage race room and AC stuff. And nah, much love, mate. It'd be good to see you out there, though. Speaking of shit blokes, David McNulty.
Oh, no.
Getting what he deserves.
Look, if anyone watches this stream and realises how toxic I'm being with David, bad luck! Nah, David's a good friend of mine, and it's just a shit bloke in general.
Oh,
but
Oh, was he sadness in the background?
what was that?
I believe that may have been.
It may have been
Honda.
Clark again.
Oh, it looks like it could have been...
Boxall.
Oh, Vauxhall.
All right, we're going to find out what happened there.
As we just see Hayden McLaren pick up 10-second time penalty as well.
They are all coming through.
Convoy, 10 seconds, lap 1. For jumping the start.
Oh, they have been cracking down on that, I've heard, the stewarding team, so...
Oh, everyone's just been too eager to get season 7 underway.
You try to, like, try to do the brake boost thing and your legs a bit shaky, and then maybe just punch the throttle a bit.
There is Wolf as well. Jump start.
Oh, that is some Aston Martin things.
Yeah, Hungaroring Gate it was that caused us to kind of re-look at just the start scenarios and procedures, because we had half the grid doing 85 or more. So we've got
Wow.
different processes
David
now.
McNulty, cop that, mate.
Jump
No
starting.
one gets away with jump starting.
As I was saying, I'm glad to see he's in a car that he enjoys now, because he didn't enjoy the Nissan, and the year before that I threw him in the BMW.
Are we up to 6 people so far? 7? The jump starts?
We could well be. Why stop there? Let's keep it coming.
There we go. Let's keep it going. And car 9. 1 and 1. Welcome to the jump start gang.
We'll be your host this evening. Penalty Racing.
Wait, what's that number on the
Oh,
back of that Bentley? Was that a triple? Was that? It looks like it's on the inside of the scoop.
999.
Is it? Is that a light or is that a scoop? That looks weird. What's also on the inside of the letter?
what the
I was like, what the hell? I was like, is that like an Easter egg that you put there? But obviously that's just some ACC things.
I have no words, but I'm impressed nonetheless.
Another one of the Kovacs Racing team. This is David Neighbour back in the Fez.
Addly doodly neighborino.
There rose 5 second penalty for causing collision on lap 1. She is currently in 3rd. That'll drop her 1 position to 4th. Not significant.
Yeah,
Plenty
good
of
for
time to
Pignata
make up
though.
that gap if she needs to as well.
You know what I'd love to see? The battle for 12th. This is between Floyd and Neighbour. And we know what that means. That it means P1 for race 2. 1 hours, 15 second penalty. That is the driver, the man, the myth, the legend that started the race on wet tyres.
If
One of the drivers.
that is.
And the one that didn't change them. Huge cojones on Munnels.
Bilko as well, also looking at a provisional front row start for race 2, on P11, which will inherit P2.
And I just want to point out, Bilko apparently dislocated his shoulder throughout the week, so he's obviously healed and he's doing alright, so it's good to see him out there on track.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
I couldn't imagine trying to drive with like rehabbing a shoulder or something. 0 force feedback maybe, I don't know.
He has done well considering
Jeez.
what he was saying about his pace to where he's at now. So
How do you do that,
props to
Mum?
him.
Yeah, would anyone like to know? I've got something you don't. I've had a few injuries in my days playing sport, and shoulders suck.
Wasn't your shoulder injury from sleeping wrong?
Yeah,
not
but
really a
it's an
sport.
old injury.
I mean, you sweat, but you don't get exhausted from sleeping.
Fuck, you're sleeping wrong. You're sleeping wrong,
Until you're in
mate.
your 30s.
Wait.
When you're in your 30s, sleeping is exhausting.
Can
Is that all
confirm
3 of you guys?
Wow. That's paid.
You literally just said can confirm it's exhausting.
Yeah, look, you know, I didn't want you to just, send me under the bus again, though. I can do it, but not you.
I haven't put you under the bus yet.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of under the
and
bus,
Bender,
David
See you later,
McNulty's under the
McNulty.
bus.
someone
I'll flick it
does
around,
not
do
like
something
his livery.
stylish.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
rejoin.
Bender.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Has he done it
Getting
again?
better.
Has
He's
he
getting better.
That's an improvement. I'll admit that's an improvement.
You didn't kill anyone.
There was
this
no
time, but
contact though, but Bryce has lost out 2 positions on the straight. Oh,
Props to Bryce for actually missing that contact, though.
can we start a channel on the Discord just of clips of David McNulty doing questionable things?
Oh, the poor man.
He had to cut back to it.
Gibbons at the moment. He'll be hunting down P7 at the moment. He's sitting quite pretty where he is on track.
Yeah, only 9/10 clear, but there is a 10-second penalty hanging over Johnson's head at the moment. So
Ah, very true. Didn't see
yeah,
that.
so that P7 is as good as Gibbons at the moment, as long as he can keep it within that margin. As we see the Honda of Ogold go a little bit wide after the snag curve.
7. Another 7. Just 5-second penalty on lap 4.
Wonderful things. Yeah, that 10-second gap is pretty easy to maintain. Considering he's only 0.7 behind. There's ahead of him.
Yeah, but it's racing, anything can happen.
He's going to
I
hang
think
it.
there's still Lexus. One Lexus. Lots of Lexus.
So we're watching what happens to Bender here. Just gets a bit too... Oh, there's contact.
Spinola.
Yeah.
Spinella.
He spins.
Contact or
Thinks the
contact.
track's clear. Unfortunately, it is not.
It wasn't so bad. It was just
Yeah.
unfortunate timing, and luckily Bryce didn't get any damage or anything.
He couldn't see the car. He had to look at the MFD to be able to tell, or the track map. Nothing like Paul Ricard, so we'll shut that noise down quickly, but it's David, and it amuses me nonetheless.
We caught it on stream.
Yeah, more importantly, it's been caught on stream by all the viewers of OOR.
Lachlan Parkin, mate, he wanting to move up to Pro-Am already.
Yeah, he's actually getting onto the back of Zanchin here. Like he's got the pace. He's got the pace to take P10.
Got the hunger for it. Will he make a move into Mineshaft now?
Probably not into Mineshaft, because that would have been the send of all sends. Crocodiles?
Is Crocodile. Crocodile is the end of the straight.
Mineshaft is quite deceptive.
It's the bend, isn't it?
Drift, yeah. So look, it's quite a bit of a kink.
It's like turn 1, but down the back straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn 1 doesn't exist. Sorry.
Tell that to the track map. Thanks,
Yeah, I
mate.
know, right?
Yeah. Talk
You try getting through
talk to
turn 1 without turning.
You do
Am
turn.
I
That's a
allowed to
very
use
good
the
point,
ball?
Brad, and I'm going to use that. No worries, if it doesn't exist, don't use the steering wheel.
Just don't turn there.
Yeah, do the same at Imola.
It was a bit more sketchy.
If you're George.
Oh, too soon, mate. Not the golden child. McLaren
Working around the outside of Gutierrez,
got it done.
Got it done. Nicely.
but does have that 20 seconds worth of bad boy points, so...
Are they redeemable anywhere, Patrick?
Yep, at the steward's office, I've heard.
What can you buy with your bad boy points?
You can buy a one-on-one date with your race director to review your race.
Nice.
Just insult you about all the mistakes that you've made.
How dare you ruin my race?
Parkin actually got past Zanchin.
Yeah,
Well,
well done.
He gets the good boy point.
He's off. Good boy points, yes.
They will be on the results as they are going too wide through Mineshaft down towards Crocodiles. The Audi's going to break towards the outside. The Ferrari's going to go towards the inside. It's the DTM battle we've always wanted, isn't it? The Ferrari's going to stay on the outside here, too wide through. Cheetah is just absolutely no bingo as the Ferrari goes off into Western South Africa.
Yeah, it looks like
loses
Floyd's
that
lost a
spot.
couple. Not quite. So Neighbours 12th. We've got a penalty to Johnson, which won't drop him out of the top 12, because there's a big gap between James and Parkin. So the battle here between Harvey and Neighbour is the battle for the front row.
And
Maybe
they are
Bill
racing
Cook
each other
10.
very hard. So Neighbour was one that we just saw go wide, and he's dropped down to P13. And I don't think he wants to do qualifying again. So he's going to be fighting pretty hard to find that position. There's just under 2 minutes to go. So we're looking at the penultimate lap at the moment.
They'll get one extra after this, I dare say.
I think this would be Parkin's redemption race at Kyalami, if I'm not mistaken. Last time Bilko was here in the Honda was in season 5 finals, I think, from memory, something like that.
I think so.
and might not have had the race he wanted. So, in a good position. Let's see if he can bring home the bacon.
Pignata. This could be his first ever podium, I believe.
Oxford picks up a 5-second penalty.
As fast as lap goes to Matthew. Just mentioned him. Absolutely flying in the Lamborghini. He was in the Jaguar last season. One of the crew that stayed with it the entire season. Didn't jump off.
Well done staying with the Jag all season. Congrats to those.
Yeah, Zach
Him
James.
and Zach James.
Yep.
Yep.
Laurie McLaughlin did. Lachlan Nichols did. There was 3 or 4
Did
more.
Bilko? Did he finish in Jag?
I think Bilko did finish in the Jag. I know Bryce went through the whole season in the Jag as well.
They were all in the split apparently.
Yeah.
Laurie McLaughlin, isn't he in the split? I think so.
Tomboy's looking good now. Fighting against Suzuki here. He has got that 10-second penalty over his head though, so I'm not sure.
Double
Was it
yellows
off
ahead.
ahead? Was it off
Well,
ahead?
he's gone deep, unfortunately.
No overtaking on yellow flags. They know the rules.
See is that an Aston?
Like an hour.
Bernie Ronquillo, yeah.
Starts with an A.
One of us got it right, Pat. It's okay.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, and it wasn't you.
See, we haven't seen any too audacious liveries in this split yet, have we? As Jamie is right on the caboose.
As we
And
watch Holmes come
Sam
across
Wise.
for the race win. Well done, Mr. Holmes. You got the job done at turn 1, lap 1, and you held it the entire race. Congrats.
And fastest lap.
And fastest lap. Look out.
Daniel Ricciardo, eat your heart out.
41 and 2. Yeah.
Shreddy P2 Rose is going to cross the line third, but finish fourth. Pinata, his first ever podium, I believe, in OOR. 41 in the wet. Michael Pickford, P5. Corey Sweet, P6. That's the best Lexus performance we've seen so far this round. Carl Johnson, 7th. I'm pretty sure it is by a
Did
mile.
Baldwin get 4th in race 1?
Yeah, but he doesn't count. I'd ignore
Jake
him.
doesn't count.
Nah, doesn't count. He's using... Oh, actually, I lied. Didn't he finish on the podium?
It's either P3 or 4, I think.
Oh, well, I'm going to say Corey's performance is better. I don't know why.
Well, let's see about his race 2 performance, because that could be the deterrent. If
Oh,
we're comparing
oh,
him to Jake.
Oh, was that before the line?
Whoa,
Nah,
whoa!
after. Oh,
No, this is before the line. What are you on about? This is definitely before the
Oh, I
line.
thought you were saying about
What
Bill.
the hell's happening?
What on God's green earth?
Stewards are going to be dealing with that
Oh.
post-race stuff, definitely. Luckily, that was not the top 12, so they don't have to like frantically figure out what happened there. They can deal with that post-race, obviously. Now,
I'm going to try and find it.
Yeah, it looked disgusting.
bit
Like someone was
busy.
working a little too hard to try and find an extra position. Oh, we need to see less of that.
There's been
Less
some
ploughing
more
into other
contact.
cars. Some drivers have wheels that will go absolutely nuts when they have a bit of contact like that, and there has been injuries in the past. So if you're one of the
Just
drivers,
lit it up. Oh, that's so
Oh.
much sadness. And Conboy just blasts his way through the oh, oh.
oh,
Oh.
gracious me, it doesn't stop.
It's like when you're falling back off your chair and you try and catch everything on the way down, but you don't catch anything. That's what just happened there. And then you hit your head.
just sadness.
That was not cricket.
Well, as we start the Super Quali now for the 13th onwards, some people will be looking to redeem some obviously performances, or whether they have really bad races in race 1. It gives them the second chance of getting up towards the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, so
Who do we have?
Zanchin and Harvey going to start in the front row. Floydy P13. Is that right?
Wait, where does Johnson end up?
Johnson's there, 9th.
Plus 10? Or is that already...
That's after. He would have dropped.
I
There's a bit of a
believe
massive
Floyd
gap.
was sitting P14, but Dave Neighbour picked up a very late penalty in that race.
There we go.
So
Yeah,
Floyd would
that's
have
dropped him
inherited
down.
P13 from that.
Yep. Good pickup. Good pickup.
Well, as long as we're all paying 25% attention, we'll catch everything.
I think so.
Tell me which 25% you're going to capture, so I don't capture the same 25.
I'll get formation lap.
Mullock will get the race start, and then Sean and we can just split the rest of the race.
Sounds good.
Sounds like 25%.
I've already cursed one race. I don't need to do it again.
You guys just sit down and just shut your pretty lips because Mullock's got this. I'm going to talk in third person. The magic is about to happen. And actually, maybe I do what I did at Imola and say this is going to be one of the cleanest starts you've ever seen.
Nobody puts a baby in the corner.
I think you've got to start forewarning the grid as well. Get in chat and say, just heads up, guys. Mullock's commentating this race start. As we see a sick little drift there on Mercedes.
Don't worry, Matt in chat. I've already cursed one race. They don't need me to do it back to back.
Is that pink Mercedes a nod to Racing Point?
Doubtful, very much.
Well, that's what it is now.
According to Braden Ross, they've heard
Oh, you've upset him!
What have you done?
Oh, he wants to change his livery. I heard it just then.
I wasn't trying to do Force India or Racing Point. Lexus gang.
That's a nice livery on that Lexus.
That's Isaac.
Whoa.
The Lambo.
Hold my beer up. Such an appropriate team name after that little move at Cheetah.
Maybe put it down and do
Maybe use both hands just to qualifying. Then you can pick the beer back up, Manos, and have a bit of a swiggy. Let's put the pressure on the Lando fangirl here, Jamie Conboy.
Can we have it on board of these?
We
Is
can.
that too much pressure?
Can you show it?
Let me get a track map up.
Conboy flying down the straight through his qualifying lap here.
Notice how we turned there, everybody? There, that's turn one.
So as we come up to
Turn two.
towards the Jukski sweep through 3 and 4 on our beautiful track map supported by Online Racing, into left at Barbecue, down towards turn 6, also known as Sunset, which is a beautiful big right sweeper. He's going to stick it in 4th gear, down 3rd, give it the guts. As we come up to Clubhouse, turn 7, across the top of this mountain towards the S's, through left through 8 and then right through 9, all the way back up the hill towards Lukop, turn 10.
Beautiful.
Left down 11 towards 12 of Mineshaft. Fast bees knees. You were giving it the beans, and then straight back on the anchors down towards the Crocodiles, which I think is 13 and then 14.
Correct.
As we see
Racing Point.
Braden's favourite livery on the right through Cheetah, aka Bunnings. As there's so much going on here, there's a car off behind him. As we break into, I can't pronounce that. He's given it up. Well, Jamie, I'm
Thanks,
sorry.
Jamie. You've let us down. F in
See,
chat.
here's a question, okay? There's no turn between the end of the S's and Lukop, but you turn your wheel in that little kink in the road.
Yeah.
Why is that kink not a kink? That is a big kink.
What is
Well,
it?
I think if you line your car up on properly on the track, you can straight line it.
Oh,
Well, then technically
That's
you can
being
do
a
that on the
straight line.
start straight too.
technically. But not if you're side by side. Are you guys familiar with the old Kyalami circuit?
Yeah, small,
The
very
reverse
small.
one
What I'll
goes the
do,
other way, doesn't it?
I'll show you. I'll show you if you were racing at Kyalami. I'll show you how the old circuit works.
I believe it went
It's
the
not
other
that
direction,
way.
didn't it? So
Yeah.
barbecue was turn 2, wasn't it?
No.
So this section. No, so you're not even near. This is this part here. It jumps onto this bit. I'm pretty sure.
But it's like a hairpin, isn't it? It's not like.
Maybe it goes through this part. Either way, this part of the track is the old Kyalami.
I'll just heads up. Alex, why don't you check this book?
Me.
Yep.
Okay. I'll just quickly do this. So down here, Le Cop is actually a right-hander. And you can kind of see, if we zoom out, the old track right there is onto the main straight, and that straight there is... Yeah, it doesn't actually turn right there though, it keeps going down that way. That's the main straight, and then it kicks back around. Yeah, it's huge. Alright, let's just check Discord.
As we're on board with Floyd, currently in P2, sitting behind John Snickers. Screwed that up, but that's okay.
Yeah.
With his,
Yep. Senekas for those of you playing at home.
for those that can actually speak English and not myself, Senekas, there we go, we managed to do it on the second attempt. He's only, what, 2/100ths off the pace of P1 at the moment.
Yeah, P3 as well, super tight as well, 600ths to Suzuki there in P3. So it's anyone's game at the moment. 30 seconds left in this qualifying session. As we see Senekas go through with a 41.1, puts it up into P1.
Well, I think. Actually, I think that's just an improvement from his original.
Never mind.
And Floyd goes quicker yet again. 40.9.
Yeah, I think Floyd and Senekas have some unfinished business after the last race. So provisionally they're going to be starting next to each other on the grid. And coming to into the closing stages of qualifying. We have a yellow just at the hairpin. They've teleported to pits.
Also a yellow at turn 2, apparently.
So I've got some info from the pit wall. PJ is telling me that John is qualifying on 50 litres of fuel. So some sort of sandbagging technique.
Well, it's not working because it's been dropped down to P3.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
He must have just gone out there on race fuel.
Yep, just hit the drive, didn't worry about the fuel. Well, let's go. Too late. Can't fix it.
Audacious. Very audacious.
Top 10 only separated by about a second, which is pretty spicy nonetheless. There we go, we have confirmation from PJ. Not sandbagging. God, English is hard.
Sagging.
Yeah, I'm doing well, boys. I'm doing well.
Whoa, the timing screen looks different. Has it always looked like that?
Where are you looking?
Broken?
I was gonna say I'm kind of confused. Where
Oh,
you're
and then it just
referring
popped out. Oh,
That's the thing. That little...
yeah, the first. Interesting. Never seen that before. As Sanderson, who's not saddening, goes P29.
Right, there we go. Super quality done. Let's get ready for race 2 at night. Can they do better?
Just do gooder.
Yeah, just do gooder at stuff. Yeah, English is very hard.
I always wonder why corners don't get names sometimes. Like 11, that could be a name, surely.
Is it like Imola where Aqua Mineral is technically 2 corners? Is it not, or am I?
It's like
talking?
3, isn't it? It's the first bit, and then it's the right left up the hill.
It could just be that it's one name for both corners.
I think that's just the area. There's a park called Aqua Minerale. It's some like fountain or something on the infield there.
Just had a message. So Andreas, how do I say the last name? He actually got disconnected race 1. Had to rejoin, put himself on P2 for that super qualifying there.
Let me try.
Udis Terra.
Yeah, you just did it. I think, yeah, that's as close as we're going to get, I think.
How do you say
Where's the spreadsheet?
followed? It's been followed.
Get the
Flyoed.
spreadsheet out. We need to know how to pronounce them.
Rain at the end. What? Did I miss that? No way. Oh, shit. Sorry, guys.
Whoa. We're on the projector.
20 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah,
30
30
minutes.
Oh, in 30 minutes.
Oh, wow,
That's going to be cutting it fine.
that's after the race, isn't
No,
it?
no, no.
Or
Okay.
we do have formation before that timer clicks down, and then we have +1 lap.
No,
which we
yeah,
got.
but that says 30 minutes. He doesn't say what's in 15. That could be coming in 11 minutes' time. So in 10 minutes' time, it's clear. That rain might be earlier. So fingers crossed that in 12
Who's on the
minutes,
wets?
we're going to see
Whose
some
BOM
moisture.
do we have? Do we have Mercedes or do we have McLaren? Whose weather department do we have?
Oh, it's a good
I'm
one.
hoping it depends on who's.
They should all be dry. I'm not even
I
going to bother
hope.
looking. They're going to be dry. They're going to be dry. If not, why are you racing?
Let's spice it up a bit.
Do we have a safety car this time, or still no safety?
Do not.
Yeah, they're towards the end of the straight, I believe, so they'll just be lining up behind it.
Nah, you're wrong.
Am I?
It
Yep.
does not appear there is
There's
no
no
safety
safety
No,
car.
there's no
Yeah.
safety car. There's no
Just-
safety car. So
Alright. I'm
we've,
wrong.
we've had the safety car parked, and someone's just come along and pinched the wheels. So we've had to put it in the shed.
Yeah,
Stuff
safety
on
car's
track.
on bricks.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you get for driving a safety car through Werribee. Am I right, Pat?
Oh,
It's just all western suburbs, I believe.
pretty much.
So as soon as we see that rain graphic move over to the 10-minute mark, that's when we can get excited. I like
So much for a straight
to see
line
more
here
of
from
this.
P2.
Oh, it's, mate, death, taxes, and this not being a straight line, 3 certainties in life. How wet does it have to be put on? It'd have to be medium rain, right at the end, really, really slippy. Oh my goodness. The other
What?
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh,
Oh.
right. That explains a lot.
There's a few people that just haven't been listening. It's the final race of the night. I will be calling the race start. I'll probably last 10 seconds.
Right. It'll be professional for 5 seconds, and then it'll just be a barrel of swears. Get the swear jar ready, Malik.
No, mate, that's what people come to watch. This isn't Sky Sports dribbling shit on cocaine.
I'm just gonna sit back and bask in the glory of what's about to happen.
Is this yours? It's your turn, isn't it, Mul?
Yeah, mate, I'm up. I'm ready.
Batter up, mate.
Look, it's going to be the biggest disappointment because nothing will happen.
Well,
I've got faith.
you know what's amazing about this? We have every class on the podium as we speak. Have we ever seen that?
What was that?
Have we seen every class of car on the podium for the start of a race?
I don't believe so. If we have, I apologise.
Look at that. Statisticians are working hard.
In before parking gets a run into turn 1 and runs away with it.
Best way to do it, mate, honestly.
Oh yeah, Diabol's. I can't remember what race it actually was. Funny stuff. Alrighty then. So we've got the Lexus of Leandro Zanchin starting in P1 alongside amateur driver Lachlan Parkin. Don't mind me, says P2. As you know, this is a reverse grid race from race 1, so the top 12 are reversed. In the background, car number 9 has spun. Not a great start there for that driver. I think they've gone back to the pits. Who knows?
No, they got the car running again. They are on the move.
Oh, yeah, I can see. 19's in the pits, so they haven't read it up. Okay, here we go. Make sure you push up next to each other. They're going way too quick. That does not look right. This can only end one way. Waiting for the green lights. Last race for Asia Pacific for round 1.
It's a 10-second penalty.
That probably is a jump start. That was probably the worst start I've ever seen in my life, but we'll continue on. Anyway, 3 wide, 4 wide, into town at turn 2. Just got to sort of feel your way through here. It's dark, it's slippery, and it is disastrous. There's a bit of wheel bagging. We are around Mia Rose is into the gravel. She's taken someone with her. Careful of the rejoins, and oh my goodness, we've done it again! Bang,
the
bang,
game.
bang! Things
It's
you
a
like
big
to
one.
see for 4,000, thank you, Eddie. That wasn't pretty.
I just can't. What?
I'm
That-
still confused about the start.
Oh yeah.
Like-
What? There was so much going on there. Holy moly.
Was that the pro-am or the amateur? Or,
No, that was the pro-am. That was the
Oh,
Yeah,
leader.
okay,
that would have been Zanchin, and I think maybe Zanchin hasn't done the reverse grid start before.
I'm pretty sure he has.
Possible.
Oh, well, he should know.
Maybe not from pole,
Because
but
it looked like confusion, like, oh, is it green? I've crossed the line, it should be green by now.
But if you're
Just a little
listening
bit
to
of
the
that.
game, you can hear when it says you're ready, and the timer at the top won't start. So I don't know how you're gonna get that fucked up.
I don't know, is there a prankster in the Discord chat that's just played the
green,
audio
green,
cue?
green. Oh, mate, I don't know. Yeah, look,
That's pro strat. If I'm starting at the back of the pack, I'm doing
it's
that.
unfortunate. But also, Carl Johnson, sorry, did absolutely mug Parkin off the line there too. So has the lead for the safety car restart. I wonder what would happen.
Same.
Same thing. Like, is that
No, I
So many
also wonder
questions.
what would happen.
like if they kept going? Could he just gap it?
Nah, would have been a bigger penalty.
Yeah, you can see he slowed down. He did get off the throttle and wait. But yeah, it
I
was
was
a
going
bit
to say,
of
it sounds like a
confusion.
pro strap from Jake Chat there. You don't need to worry about it. As long as you 10 seconds ahead.
Nah, common sense always prevail. Admin will override any rule if we deem that you've done something outside of it. And he's away. The race has not started. Leo Jen, what a start! He's away. He's 20 car lengths ahead.
There he is.
Oh,
Off the
whoops.
throttle now.
That isn't what you should have been doing, Leandro. To make matters worse, if he's obviously waited. He knows he's done messed up. It's probably a drive-through penalty, or no, actually, it would be more than that. Watch this, bang, airborne, and just behind there's just absolute cluster.
Bit of an unfortunate happenings from Mia Rose by the looks of it. Might have got bumped, but then caught up and maybe a tricky rejoin.
I've got to say, Malik, you're consistent.
Mate, don't miss it.
Well, that's what they say about
Consistency is
racing.
key.
Consistency is key.
Oh.
Is that Isaac Norman again facing the wrong way?
That looks like the Princess freeway every Friday.
You mean every day, not just Fridays.
Oh, just trying to get from that ring road to the Princess. Oh, what a disaster.
How good a road works.
They're not. They're just not.
I haven't seen that road without roadworks since I moved here at the start of last year.
Since we were born, really.
Alright, and you'll continue to see them for a lot longer.
But Carl Johnson, I assume there was only one lap with the safety car.
Yep,
Was the
safety car's coming in.
away.
It's
So
already in.
he's going to lead them to green. What is the strat going to be here? I think you just got to try and yep, just go. Go straight out of the corner. Don't wait for the line. No
This is a
funky
great
business.
strategy.
Just go it. Just send it. Yep, and
Go
he's
on.
out.
Heard it.
Nice
Before
job.
he caught the
Good strat.
P2 sleeping. Parkin was not ready for that jump in the last corner. As they come down into the kink. Also T1 now apparently. Always has been, but doesn't
Go
matter.
wide. Who's going to get what got done? Did it? Boom. Sent. McLaren. Up the inside. Lovely stuff.
Blistering fastest lap there. 2 minutes, 7, 6, 4.
2 minutes 7.64.
You heard it here first.
So Ogold right on the back of Gibbo here. This will be a nice fight here. These two guys have done a fair bit of F1 from memory. So tied up towards Clubhouse as they come racing down the Asses for the first time. Race 2. Nice line there from Ogold. Bit of the exit curb, why not? Everyone seems to be single file. strap in for 25 minutes of the bee's knees. Oh, as Samwise making a move up the inside of Stefano Rosciuti down the back straight. He's out of here. He said, I don't need to be back there.
Has the
But-
job been complete?
I think
Should
so.
he have a dive here? Holmes is going to defend nice and strong there.
Oh, licked and
Forcing him
stamped
around the outside. Holmes did take a lot of curb but maintains position.
That was really important for Holmes to get that done nice and early. He's got Corey Sweet on his sights next up, and after that, he's I think he'll be able to crunch into the delta of the drivers after Corey Sweet pretty quickly. So yeah, very important for Holmes to get the best result he possibly can in this race.
Sweet is no slouch either. Like, he'll put up a good fight, that's for sure. As we see a yellow in the background, car 888 looks like. Not sure, but oh, there's a bit of how you going. Ben Floyd has just been in the wars as that car's probably going to rejoin on the track, hit that bump curb, bang, dead. Sniper. Oh, the rejoin.
No,
Get
that's
right
fine.
back on there, mate.
That's fine. Oh, he's really slippery.
Is that maybe weather? Is the weather has the rains come down and nice and early?
No, no.
Not yet? No, you don't reckon?
Does it look like it's raining?
Look at the radar.
I can't see
Still half
shit.
hour out, Pat.
How do we know? That's what
I
they
would
said.
tell you, it's not raining. I'd be squealing. Wow.
Oh, that is not how. Oh,
Oh, that's
Oh, how
five
did he
minutes.
manage that?
3 wide.
That's
Send it.
impressive.
There is
Can't
so
think
much
of
going
that
on.
again to see.
You can see Mia Rose is already on an absolute charge trying to recover the disaster from the start of the race. She's just set fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:42.1, I believe.
Left side, having to go down Crocodiles. Oh, it says a Punterino in the background. I think that was Suzuki into, I'm not sure who, Molloy.
Oh, it's Andreas again, unfortunately. Aiden McLaren into 14th after that, was 17th moments ago. We keep a eye. Half on, the weather in 10 minutes, wet.
And increasing.
I told
up in
you.
30.
I told you. They fucking lied
You
to
said
us.
in 30 minutes.
I said in 12
Sure.
minutes. I said in 12 minutes.
12? You were not that precise.
He did. I can confirm. He said it could be an 11 or 12.
Suck
Yeah, he did. Here's the
me
thing.
off.
You did. Yes, Mike, you did say that, but I don't think any of us said that you were wrong to warrant that kind of aggression. I told you. Yeah.
I did. That's all that matters.
But as we
Simple.
speak,
I told you would have sufficed.
Sweet has gotten by O'Gold, so he's obviously on a tear. But what is going to happen here? Do we think there's going to be... Oh, this is going to be spicy.
Well, it's going to continue. So in 10 minutes' time, which will be 11 minutes to go, it'll kick off with rain. Will it get heavy enough to swap tyres for the last 5 minutes? Honestly,
100%.
no, I
No.
doubt it. I think that's light
But-
rain.
Is that within the next 10 minutes?
So-
It can
so-
happen at any time?
No, in 10 minutes' time, it'll start raining. It's no like maybes. It's a definitive 10 minutes' time.
Well, I mean, that's 6-7 laps. It's about 6 or 7 laps, and I dare say 3 or 4 of those laps is going to be on a pretty wet track.
I don't think it'll be too wet. It'll be light rain, and because it's already got a lot of rubber on it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
That's a
no.
send.
Corey's just been eaten up there. Got a bit unlucky trying to go too wide through Cheetah, and thankfully no harm, no foul by
Just held on
O'Gold
nicely.
there.
Just touching on your track condition assumption, Malik, you sound a lot like Lando Norris, and look what happened to him.
Too soon.
Mate, but that's different. That is way different. He fucked that up so bad. But it's look, as you're leading the race, that's the toughest point to make that decision because you
I
are
suppose
the
We're
one that's
not
going to
who's
lose the
right
most.
until we see what tyres the winner of the race is on.
Yeah. But also,
It's just the-
his pit crew would have had more information than he did. He was obviously racing with fixed eyes, which is you are. It's an F1 driver. And they pitted Ricardo. Even Ricardo said he probably went in a lap too late.
Well, the thing that annoyed me is they had a clear margin from Perez in third, and they could have pitted Lando onto the intermediates, and the worst thing that would have happened is they lose the position to Hamilton. They still bag P2, take the points. But they didn't do that. They risked it, and he fell all the way down to what, P7 was it?
But Mia Rose, even though, wait, what position do you have to be to get fastest lap?
Anywhere. This is an
It can be
F1.
anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay, so she is at the back of the grid, coming up through turn 4 now. She is on a blinder. She's just on a 41.2. So probably trying to lock in that fastest lap point.
Yeah, currently sitting P39, but I dare say she's going to climb the board very quickly for the rest of this race, especially when it starts to become a little bit slippery.
Stewards starting to dish out the pens.
Oh, it says someone's off cheater. I've heard Diabols has informed us that Ben McNulty has unforced hits early on, but he's still going at P22.
Let's see.
Oh,
if
he'll
sorry,
jump up
you're
to the
on.
podium. Yeah, sorry, he'll jump up
Yeah.
to the podium once it starts raining.
They've got the intermediates ready already.
He did his rain dance at the start of this for sure. Standard bender tactics.
What position is he at the moment? 22nd.
22 at the moment, mate.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah, Zanchin obviously mugged after his little jump start there. He did start P1. Yeah, that P15.
Obviously not a lot of people have learned after that first race of all those jump start penalties that you do need to be in fact on 80 or lower before it goes green.
I think there's a 3 kilometre leeway, 83 and above. Above 83 and you'll cop the penalty, but you don't want to risk sitting at 83 for what game? Just hold 80. And wait for the
80
green.
like the race director says, you know. Not rock science.
As we all know as racers, you get a bit twitchy on the start sometimes, and you think, no, I'm a bit over, or no, a bit under, I'll just, as they go too wide
She's
through the
Floyd
bunny
and Bilko.
snag, they've done-
Bilko! Oh!
Bilko's
he's
held it. Well
absolutely
done.
lost out here. Absolutely mugged. Lost 3 spots in one corner there.
Could have been much worse though. He's done really well to keep the car on track then and not create further incidents.
Drive through for Zanchin, who was our race leader.
Our escape artist.
Yep. Bit of a doozy, that one.
Yeah, it's more of a bit of a slap on the wrist. It's got to be make sure you're listening to the game. Don't be waiting for the same spot because in these reverse grid races, there's always a delayed start because we're waiting for a car to cross the line actually in 13th position and
Whoa,
parking.
Bilko is around. He's got the car sideways. That is not an ideal place to stop. There's going to be some drivers coming around there blind to what's going on. Hopefully they all run wide enough to dodge him. And that's off the back of, is that Hermanto? That was just ahead of him. Made an absolute dive in the pass coming into barbecue. Yeah, obviously Bilko's a little bit rattled throughout the last lap of this race.
So I reckon we're going to expect rain in about 4 minutes time, 3 or 4 minutes. Around the 12 to 11 minute mark, we will see a little drizzle. I personally don't think it's going to be enough to worry about wets. It is a light rain indicator, but it's going to make the conditions very dicey. And in a short race like this, when you've got another 4 or 5 laps to do, it's probably not worth the pit stop because I don't think you're going to gain it back. Someone's
Someone's in. That's Zanchin. Oh, he's serving his drive through.
Yep.
Yep.
Have you ever been in a short race, guys, that's had changing weather like this before?
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah, Pro-Am Finals, Season 5 at Imola.
Pro
The drying race, but a wet quali.
Oh, that's right. And half the drivers went out on wet tyres.
Oh, that was a
The race.
disaster.
And it was pretty much a pretty much went to Greasy by the end of Sector 1.
Yep.
And I think that was still under formation, actually, when it went to Greasy.
Yep. And I was one of the ones that started on wets.
You poor thing.
That
That
times.
was well before my time. Well, I'm so glad I missed it.
What's that?
I've only been here for a couple seasons, so loving it nonetheless. So we're
Oh, mugged.
watching. We were going through now. We were watching. We don't know where we're going yet, but it's all good. But we're on board with Sweet at the moment, coming down. No, back on Jet.
How's Holmes looking? He's defending the inside really hard here. He's going to maintain that position. He gets a nice exit coming through Crocodiles.
Oh,
Full contact.
this
Yeah,
ain't
Holmes,
going well.
Holmes looking really good. He's 2.7 seconds clear of getting a podium position here. Holmes is having an excellent night.
This ain't any well.
Thanks, Jan. You guys have computers for brains. Amazing information.
I've been called worse. So who's this leading? Is that Sweet? It is.
It is. So he's got
Absolute
past.
gaggle.
He's getting gapped by Samwise now.
Oh, I'm really enjoying the fact that this is going to be a little bit of precipitation towards the end. In a night race on a reverse grid for round 1 at Kyalami. What a combo.
Got about 2 minutes to wait for that to happen for you, Noel. Then we get to see either people panic and dive into the pits, hoping that it's going to get worse conditions.
I know.
People rolling dice and hoping they can just do the last 10-12 minutes without too caught up with the track being.
Oh, in 30 minutes time it's getting heavier. It won't matter now, but that's interesting.
I don't know, slap a time extension on, we're good to go.
Oh, we need little checkpoints.
Competition yellow.
Competition in yellow. Yeah, the problem is I can see the rain. It started.
I saw a rain light come on.
There we go. The windscreen has a little bit of precipitation on. We have started to see, and as you can see on the top, ooh,
Oh! Rashuti almost reshooted up the backside of Floyd there.
I'll get out of here,
Yeah.
game. The track's not fast within 3 seconds of the rain coming down.
Oh, Malik!
No, seriously, if you pit, you're not going to
Increasing in 10 minutes. Bang!
No.
Lots of people in
No.
the pits.
That symbol
People in the
means
pits.
persisting.
Cars in the pits.
Chalmers in the pits. Chucking on the wets. I wouldn't want to pitch straight away because
It's
I
not
would
wet
have my
though.
tyres set
It's
up.
not wet. That's the thing.
Greasy!
It's not fucking wet tires.
It's greasy!
I mean, it's
Wasn't there
not a
an update?
debate. I'm telling you, it's not the right call.
Wasn't there an update that as soon as it went wet, that wet tires went optimum or something like that?
No, I don't know how wet tires can be actually optimum if the track's greasy.
I think the other issue here is the tyre pressures that they're currently sitting on. They're going to drop considerably, and we've lost ambient and track degree. We were at 17 across the board, now down to 16. So it's getting colder.
This would be an interesting part of the track to
If
see
they've changed
at
the
full
game
force.
to be that dramatic with this, these aren't slick tires. That's what's fucking funny. They're not slicks. Anyway, Carl Johnson, stay out. Just see what happens. I didn't tell you to though.
We'll give you the points. Just stay out.
Does he dive? See?
Nah, surely
Oh,
not.
he's going for it.
Oh no.
Pinata, he wants to win.
That. I think that's the right call from.
How quickly this changes is
Pinata.
fucking worse than Codemasters games.
I think you got to stay out. That is unfortunate.
He's the only one out of the top that's going to do it so far. Let's keep an eye on it. We see Holmes and that cross the line. And back down, they don't think they need the wets just
Carl
yet.
Johnson is either an Einstein or unfortunately has lost about 20 odd places.
McLaren's gone in the pits as well. Following suit.
With that Ferrari
so
going
much
wide,
going on.
losing the rear and getting a little tap from... What bloody car is that?
Wow.
This is going to be sketchy.
Wow.
10 minutes of race. They've got to drive to the conditions. You can't expect to do the same things now. Let's go.
Can you get race control to close pit lane, please?
It's coming down pretty heavy, isn't it?
Looks pretty slick off that racing line, but they're still saying it's something a greasy track at the moment. As we're on board with Floyd, my line's sweet at the moment. See what happens. They do look a bit squirrely coming out of the corners.
Yeah, use those curbs all you can. Not going to be able to use them much longer.
I'd hate to see tyre pressures right now.
Samwise is up to P2.
He is on a tear tonight.
Yeah, I think he was doing quite well in the wet Wally, so I think he feels right at home here. You heard me?
Nice. Welcome to the club.
Do we see any of the front runners pulling after this lap as well?
Nah.
See what's going to pay off for the other ones. But probably not.
You,
Well, let's start seeing what the lap times look like. I'm going to keep track of what Johnson's lap times look like compared to everyone else and start doing a little bit of maths.
Whoa, that's good. Brashetti right on the back of Floyd, who's in the thick of it. Bad luck, thank you for the $5 donation there, Bilko. His net's dropped. Maybe Pinata in the Lamborghini has just scooted away. Loving these conditions.
Yeah, so it was 8/10 quicker than Holmes that lap. Although Holmes did make an overtake, so he would have lost a little time there. But Pinata is... His last lap was a 48.6, so I suppose that's the benchmark at the moment. Keep eyes peeled for how everyone else is doing. Everyone's sitting around 149s, 150s.
There are a few cars in the pits now. We've got Medding, Convoy, Wolf, Johnson all sitting in the pits. Maybe they're feeling that the wet tyre is ultimate.
But they're the one to throw the dice because they're not in the top 10 position. That's where you would try and see, oh, can I gain something from this?
Yeah.
If you're up the top three, you've got to stay. Look, if you're Pinata, you can't come in. You've got a 10-second lead. And extending it.
Has just gone to damped over like on the top.
If this was a 60-minute race, though, and there was 37 minutes left,
You'd be in.
you'd be in at some stage. So, yeah, last lap's Pinata was at 48.6. Holmes, 49.4. Zachary James at a 49.7. I haven't seen any yellow flags.
But as we see one up at the corp,
On Q.
7. That's Suzuki.
Interesting for Johnson as well. Johnson's got a little bit of clear air in front of him, so he can really punch out some decent laps on those wet tyres at the moment. As the track has switched to damp now.
I think you just got to tough it out. Probably lose too much track position if you pit now.
Johnson was race leader, sticking back to 17th now. Really want to hope that it starts coming down a bit heavier and the rest of the field actually kind of pits, otherwise he is definitely major lost out. As we see him having an issue coming through.
I'll tell you what, doesn't look much better with the wets on.
What times did you say they were doing?
149s to 151s around that ballpark. So Cole Johnson is looking at a 1 minute
48.
48.1. So it is reasonably quicker than the guys at the front. And it didn't look like it was the perfect lap, but a couple of tenths is nowhere near enough to get from P17 to P1.
Nah, so the race is too short. But it'll be sketchy for the next 5 minutes for those that are on dries.
Oh, Shooty just really working to keep that car pointing in a straight line.
Just stay away from that paint.
Those curves going to be pretty much death at the moment if you hit them the wrong way.
How good does it look though?
Looks fantastic.
Oh, I think Sneakers has had a moment. He's dropped back a position. No, never mind. I scrapped that. David Neighbour, blue flagged.
Always catches a big snap there. Judy's having some issue controlling the rear of the car at the moment, but he's doing a fantastic job on the saves.
Look, the indicator is David McNulty. Has he pitted for wets? If he hasn't, then that's the car. That's the tyre he meant to be on.
He probably started on wets. Just in hope that it would happen.
Judy looks like he's going to have a move on the sweep coming into the end of the straight here. Let's see if he can pull it off under the brakes.
How many pens has 777 had? What are they up to? 30 seconds? 35 seconds?
30 seconds. Use that.
Just trying to cycle through to see who's on the wets.
Judy's done well to pull that overtake off over Corey there. He heads up towards sunset. Complete this lane.
So the highest wet tyre driver is Carl Johnson, as we were expecting, in 16th.
Yep, still 40 seconds, 46.2 seconds clear of the leader.
Chalmers has gone. Looks like the Kovacs team pretty much have gone the wets. Seeing a lot of Kovacs cars with the wet tyres. So they're obviously in Discord. They've said, oh, that'll be the right way. They've taken a gamble, and I don't mind the gamble, but for Carl Johnson, it's going to cost him a podium, at the very least.
Lap times are depleting. We're now seeing from the leaders 53.9, 53.1, and the quickest we're seeing around that ballpark is from Floyd with a 52.6. Everything else is about 53 to 55.
What a cent. He's going to lose out though.
Lap times are dropping. Johnson's still sitting at a 149 flat, so that's about 6 seconds quicker than a majority of these drivers at the moment. As we see contact coming through the crocodiles.
And a bit of sadness.
Could have been worse, thankfully. So it's one thing to put the wets on, but you've got to get your tyre pressures right. Some of these drivers will have pretty warm temps now, or pretty cold temps, sorry, and the wets could be very hot if you don't have the right pressures.
At 5 in the Honda as well. That is the go-to wet engine map.
Oh. This is great.
Turn there.
Definitely earning their points here.
Definitely see they got their hands full with the wet and the damp track a bit wet. The drivers are putting on a bit of a master class showing you how it's done with the slick tyre.
Yeah, still overtakes being attempted as well, as we just see Sweet a little bit sideways in the Lexus. He gets right onto the tail of Zachary James. Not enough room on track to make a move. It's a little too dangerous. Can't be jostling backwards and forwards there. Yeah, there are overtakes happening throughout the field, especially in these conditions, which is super tricky. My mentality would be keep it on the black stuff. But if these guys decide that there's real estate that they can occupy, then I suppose go for it.
Love how the track temp hasn't changed a single bit.
That's hot water coming down, Mel.
It must be.
Yeah.
The clouds are working as insulation.
Yep. They stopped the sun at night, remember?
As Navy just blue flag.
Did neighbours stop for wet there earlier on? Was it searching for water to cool down the tyres potentially?
Probably.
Yeah, I did see that earlier. He was coming into turn one. It did look like he peeled off to the inside of the track to try and spray those tyres with a bit of cold water.
It looks like we're on the final lap of the race. We're on board with Gibbons here. Heading down home. Well, not home's definitely in front of him, but there we go.
Ignata's doing so well. It was about a 10-second gap a few laps ago from Holmes. It is now extended to an 11.6. So Ignata's only getting quicker in these conditions.
Surely wet races all next week. I'm brave, but I don't think I'm that brave for the stewards.
That would be fun.
We might see some wet racing though.
The variation is the same week to week, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could always happen.
Oh,
Oh, that's a snow on the snow. That is Van Bar giving someone a boop on the boot.
So did you say boop on the snoot in motorsport commentary?
I did, but I
conditions?
realised it's not on the snoot, it was on the boot.
I only say that to my cat.
Bathurst has great drainage. But well done. Yes.
Sorry, Mole, you go, you take it.
The 323 car of Matthew Pinata, the Pro-Am, got his first podium tonight. And guess what? He's going to get his first win as well. What a start. He's going to be leading this split.
Things you'll have to see, Pro-Ams winning their first race at Kyalami.
Yeah,
Happy
absolutely.
man.
Well, Pignati, you can't take any sunshine away from this man though. P1 in race 1.
Yeah, not
and
quite.
has an absolutely stellar performance in race 2. Puts it in P2. So fantastic night for Samwise Holmes.
We don't give out P3. Then the swarm of cars. We've got Rashudi, Floyd, Zachary James, Corey Sweets, Sonikas. Those top 8. Stellar job. Malloy's just inside the top 10. And Carl Johnson's got him back up to 10th, but unfortunately the strat... In the background there's some sadness. Nick Van Bar has gone too far and slammed into the fence after cheetah. Things you don't like to see. Oh, it's kicking off even more.
That's a lot of damage. I don't think he has full control of that car anymore.
It doesn't look like his wheel would be too straight. By the look of it.
Oh,
There's been contact after the line.
For 40 thousandths. We didn't show him all single race. Where is he? Oh, that was actually bended across the line. Dirty driver.
That 400.
It's clean now.
Yes, it is 400.
But 40 thousandths as well.
40,000. Yes.
Mia Rose with a fantastic recovery drive as well, all the way back up to P20.
Oh, going
back
to
to
the
pack.
line. Going to the line. Going to the line. It's going to be
The Lambo
3
550.
thousandths. Lambo.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
That's insane.
Oh,
That is
Isaac
insane.
Norman. Just pressing a little bit harder on his throttle. He found that extra 1% of gas.
Whew. That was hectic.
Well, what a spicy night of racing. Way to polish off Asia Pacific's first round.
We'll wait for the timing sheet to cross over. There we go. So race 2, we saw some nice little gaps here. 40. There's a 3/10. There it is.
And behind
Oh,
it too.
Irfan not too far back because of the penalty. Oh, even Lloyd G. Johnson's not too far back. But well done. So it looks like, I reckon based off that, Samwise Holmes will be leading overall the split. And Matthew Pinata, phew, welcome to Pro Class Champ. That type of performance gets you out of Pro-Am. But yes, rip-de-doo-da. Thank you for joining in the commentary box tonight, team.
Good to be back.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks for having me, mate.
Cheers for the invite.
We'll see you next week at Bathurst.
You certainly shall, gang. I'll talk to you then.
Thanks, mate.
Bye-bye.
Hey, mate.
Thanks, stream, for joining in tonight. We're going to be back in about 6 hours for Europe. Split blue, split red with Raggy and Horn Badger. And a few hours after that, we're going to have North America with Garrity and team. So make sure you tune in then. Other than that, we'll be back at Mount Panorama next week. But this weekend, if you're in Asia Pacific, we do have endurance round number 2 as we head to Donington Park for the first time for the endurance series. We've done it at the sprints and it was interesting, so make sure you tune in for that. Anyway, I will see you then. Take care, be good, and see you next time.